Welcome in, everybody. The first pitch of the ball game has already been delivered, and it is now a 1-ball-and-1-strike count on Haruto Watanabe here in the top of the first inning. Watanabe is facing Gu Lin of the Fighters as a breaking ball drops in for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. We'll give you the full lineups here as we move along. A little late to get into the stream tonight, but we are glad you guys can make it with us, whether you listen live or on delay. It is a ball and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting leadoff center fielder of the Buffaloes, and there is a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Watanabe hitting .388 on the year with 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. He has solidified himself pretty much as an everyday player right now for the Buffaloes as Gu Lin works himself to the belt. Here comes the pitch from the Taiwanese right-hander, and it's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes full to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's the first of 5 games in a row for us, as we'll be on each night for the next 4 more nights after tonight, as we are going to be doing a lot of the Japanese baseball. So hopefully you guys can come on back again and see us tomorrow night as well. Here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and Watanabe is in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the third baseman in Yuma Mune. Lineup tonight for the Buffaloes, as we said, Watanabe, who just struck out. Yuma Mune is batting second. He plays third. Doing the DHing in batting third is Ryoma Nishikawa. The cleanup spot at second base is Ryo Oda. The left fielder is Kai Nakagawa. He's in the 5 spot. And the 6 spots, Tomoya Mori, he's catching. Batting 7th is Bob Seymour. He's at first. Hitting 8th in right field is Ryoto Kita. And batting 9th is Kitaro Kobayashi, the shortstop. Our friend Samurai Prayer in the house tonight. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is on 1 to Mune. Mune hitting .264 on the year, 4 homers and 10 runs driven in. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Gu Lin, who kicks and delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 0-2 on Mune. So no balls and 2 strikes. Buffalo's wearing the road, I guess it looks like black, but I think it's actually navy jersey. There's a fastball swung on it, is pounded through the 6-hole into left field, and Mune is aboard with a 1-out single. They have the white pants to the Buffaloes, and the Fighters are in their home whites tonight. So that puts Mune aboard at first base. That's going to bring up the designated hitter in Ryoma Nishikawa. Well, for Nishikawa on the season, he's hitting .324. He's got a homer to go with 13 runs batted in. Buffalo's very similar lineup to the one that we saw the other night. And why not? When they're playing as well as they have been, they might as well keep the conga line rolling. So Mune, the runner at first. Nishikawa stepping to the plate here. Batting from the left side. Nishikawa, the former Carp, wearing the number 7, once donned by Masataka Yoshida. As the pitch is a breaking ball, misses down in it, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Buffalo's enjoying their time at the top of the league. The Fighters looking to try to find their way back into the top 3 as the pitch is a fastball swung on. This is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rodolfo Castro comes in to pick it up. And stopping at second is going to be Mune. And so now the Buffalo's got something going here in the first inning with runners at first and second. And that's going to bring Ryo Oda to the plate. Our friend Samurai Purr says it's a happy Saturday afternoon for Japanese baseball fans because Okamoto hit 2 home runs and Murakami is 13th. I knew Murakami hit his 13th. I didn't know that Okamoto had hit a pair tonight. I just got in recently, so I haven't seen any of the scores from around Major League Baseball formally. I just saw a couple of the announcements or a couple of items that had flashed by earlier, but didn't really check in on the finals. But Murakami, the conga line keeps on rolling for him. 13th homer of the year. 12 for the month of April. Not a bad start to his big league career. There's a fastball that's check swing foul over on the first base side. The count is quickly 0-1 to Oda. Defensively tonight for the Fighters from left to right field. Nomura is in left. Castro is in center. And the right fielder is Manami. Around the horn from first to third, Kiyomiya is at first. It's Narama at second. The shortstop's Mizuno with the third baseman Gunji. The battery of Gulin and Iwatamiya. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball center cut for a called strike at the knees, and the count now is 0-2 to Oda. No balls, 2 strikes. After the game tonight, I will shoot up all of our schedule. We're going to do another game in the Pacific League tomorrow night, if I can remember off the top of my head. I don't know if it's this one or not. And then we're going to do the Tigers and the Dragons for a pair of games. So that'll be Monday and Tuesday, as there's a fastball down in the dirt. A good stop there by Tamiya. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. And after those ball games, then we'll be back to the Pacific League. I believe it is the Fighters and the Lions to close out our stretch of 5 games in 5 nights. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the right-hander checks the runner at second, now delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. And Oda goes down. That was a 95-mile-an-hour heater from Gulin. Oda in the books for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to the left fielder in Kai Nakagawa. Our friend Samurai Prayer says, Fighters should be able to be better in May. They have not been doing very well. Yeah, I would think so. I would think, but the depth of that squad, one would have to think that for sure. Our other friend who pops in, and that's 500 Shows Deep, says, do you use the Soup app? Nope, don't. That's not what we use, so we can watch the games. Nope, don't do that. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. What we do, though, is we do give you, and we haven't done it yet tonight, and we can get that to you here in just a moment. We can tell you where you can watch the games, either online or on television, depending upon where you're at and located. As the right-hander works to the set position, he checks the runner at second. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul. Hooked on. Is it going to get into that upper deck that sort of hangs over? And I think it did. Runs the count to 0-2 on Nakagawa. If you want to watch the game on TV, Sapporo Television 1 or Gaora Sports are carrying the game. And if you want to stream it online, DAZN, Rakuten TV, or Baseball Live are your options. So if anybody else comes into the stream, we'll just point them back to the 8-minute mark, the 9-minute mark. So you're able to watch the games there. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded to the right side of the infield, fielded neatly by the second baseman, Narama. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Nakagawa on a ground out 4-3 for out number 3. And that is going to do it here in the first inning for the Buffaloes. Well, they threatened, but they don't score. No runs in the inning. There were a pair of hits, no errors, and there were 2 runners left. Your scores were through a half. It's the Buffaloes, nothing, and the Fighters coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few after this timeout. Appreciate you for popping in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We have ourselves a batting order for the fighters here tonight. We were a little late getting into the saddle. It is going to be Tatsuki Mizuno to lead it off for the fighters. He is the shortstop. He wears number 43. Hitting second is number 6, Rodolfo Castro. He'll play in center field. Hitting third, wearing number 5, is Yuki Nomura. He's in left field. And the cleanup spot is number 3, Yuya Gunji. He'll play third base. Batting fifth is the designated hitter, number 99, Franmil Reyes. Hitting sixth at first base is number 21, Kotaro Kiyomiya. Batting seventh in right field is number 66, Chusei Minami. Hitting eighth and playing at second base is number 58, Taiki Narama. And batting ninth, the catcher is number 64, Yua Tamiya. And it is Anderson Espinoza who is on the mound. He's a perfect 4-0, looking to get his fifth win. He's got a microscopic ERA of 0.62. He does wear number 00, which is where he would probably like his ERA to be. So this is going to bring Mizuno to the plate. He's hitting .271 on the year, no homers and 9 runs batted in. I have to say that the fighters have changed their lineup a little bit since the last time we've seen them. There's a few new looks in the lineup. Obviously moving Mizuno up into the top spot. Rodolfo Castro, we haven't seen him in quite a while. There's a fastball swung on, and that's fouled away down the left field line, and the count is 0-1. They also dropped Reyes and Kiyomiya down in the lineup. Minami has been down for quite a bit. So interesting to see how the big boss has made his changes. So no balls and 1 strike it is to Mizuno, as the pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Espinoza getting his sign, working quickly into the windup. There's a fastball that just misses a bit low, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There is a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count now is even at 2s to Mizuno. As we mentioned, tomorrow, in the next couple of nights, next few nights, we'll have some action for you. There's a fastball swung on, grounded right back to the pitcher, Espinoza. He feels it. He's going to throw to first. That's going to put Mizuno in the books on the ground out 1-3. So 1 up and 1 away for the fighters. That'll bring up Rodolfo Castro. So tomorrow night, it's going to be the Lions and the Marines. That is going to go off at 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. On May the 4th, we are going to call, that would be Sunday night North American time at 10:30 p.m. It's going to be the Tigers and the Dragons. May the 5th, which is the Tuesday in Japan, Monday night if you are in North America, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern, Tigers, Dragons again. And that'll be the Fighters and the Eagles to close out the Golden Week games, or the early Golden Week games. Again, 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. The first pitch delivered to Rodolfo Castro misses upstairs for ball 1. Count is 1-0. So we're excited to be able to bring you all of the action as well as tonight. There's a fastball delivered to Castro. That is fouled away, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-handed hitting center fielder of the fighters. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Espinoza kicks and fires. There's a center cut fastball. Now that evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Castro waggling the bat. Now he asks for time, as wasn't quite set. Espinoza and the batter acknowledge one another. And now Castro will get himself reset back in the batter's box, and we're ready to go again. Here comes the 2-2. Fastball just misses down and away. Espinoza thought it was strike 3 as he was moving off the mound and ready to go for a tour around the mound, but the home plate umpire says no dice, and we get the replay of that. And I would say if it was a Japanese pitcher on the mound, it might have been strike 3. Fastball swung on, grounded through the 4-hole into right field, and Castro was aboard with a 1-out single. That'll bring up the left fielder in Yuki Nomura. I say that because sometimes the strike zones when the Japanese pitchers are pitching to the imports are a little bit more, I would say, liberal. So Nomura coming to bat with Castro aboard. Nomura hitting .246, four homers, and 13 runs batted in. As Castro gets his lead over at first base, waggling the bat is Nomura. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on him as the count is quickly 0-1. No balls and one strike to the left fielder of the Fighters. Right-hander Anderson working from the set. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and fires, it's a fastball missing down. Count is now even at 1-1. Defensively tonight for the Buffaloes from left to right field, it is Nakagawa is in left. The center fielder is Watanabe. In right field, it's Kita. Around the horn from first to third, Seymour is at first. The second baseman tonight is Oda. At short, Kirby-Ashi, and at third, Mune. The battery of Espinoza and Mori. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball misses inside. Count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Espinoza off to I would say not exactly the smoothest of starts. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, grounded right back to the pitcher. He looks to go to second, but the runner Castro was on the move. They're going to stay out of the double play. It's going to go as a ground out 1-3. Nomura's in the books for out number 2. Castro moves over into scoring position. That's going to leave it up to the third baseman in Yuya Gunji. And for Gunji, well, as he strides to the plate, he is hitting .233. He's got a couple of homers and 9 runs batted in. Getting the nod as the third baseman here tonight. 24 for 103 in the early goings. As he bats from the right side here against the righty, there's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the right-hander checks the runner at second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Pitch on the way. It is a split finger pitch. It's taken for a called strike. Now it's 1 ball and 1 strike. As Anderson Espinoza checks the runner at second, and now he steps off the backside, and Castro retreats back to second. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is here to the third baseman of the Fighters. Lots of games, lots of action around the NPB tonight, and we'll keep you abreast on everything. As there's a breaking ball taken for a call strike. All of the games are underway with the exception of the game between the Bay Stars and the Swallows. There's only scoring in the game between the Tigers and the Giants. It's at the Cochin. Bottom of the first inning, the Tigers have first blood. They're up 1-0 on the Giants. As that breaking ball was taken for a strike by Gunji, count is 1-2. Espinoza nods in agreement. As he works himself to the set position, here comes the pitch. Fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. That pitch had a lot of backdoor run to it, but it didn't run enough to cross the plate. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tapping both sides of the plate is the right-handed hitting Gunji. And now he waits on the 2-2 offering from Espinoza, who holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and that is fouled away. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-seam fastball from Espinoza, something that he features. Boy, he's got a lot of arm side run to that pitch. As we mentioned, the pitch before had a lot of comeback to it, but not enough to catch the plate as Tomoya Mori had set up outside, and that pitch there got more of the plate as he was able to fight it off. Here's the 2-2. There's a fastball again swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the first base line. When I think of pitchers who love to use the two-seamer, it was Bartolo Colon. Bartolo Colon, they said, in the latter part of his career would throw 80% of his pitches would be two-seam. Over the course of a game, that's unbelievable. He goes out, throws 80 pitches, 64 two-seamers. You know it's coming, and you still can't do anything with it. It's kind of like Mariano Rivera. You know the cutter's coming, and you just can't do a darn thing with it. Here's the 2-2. There's a split-finger pitch that misses down in the dirt. A nice stop there by Mori. That runs the count full to Gunji. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Franmil Reyes, and one would have to think that this is the guy that you want to get. You don't want to bring Reyes to the plate with ducks on the pond. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gunji. Runner at second, Castro. 2 gone here in the last half of inning number 1. And now the right-hander, again, works to the set. Checks the runner over at second. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. It's going to be ball 4. Espinoza wanted the call. Didn't get it. Gunji's aboard. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and now he's got to face Franmil Reyes. And I'm sure if you asked Espinoza, this is not the guy you want to face in this spot. We got to look at the pitch. Espinoza wanted the call, but I have to be honest, I just don't think that pitch caught the corner. I think it was outside. I think it was a decent call by the home plate umpire. We got the shot from behind the catcher, and Mori looked like he had set up outside, and even though he hit his spot, the result was outside. There's a breaking ball that misses inside to Reyes, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Reyes with only 3 home runs on the season. So a slow month of April for him in terms of the power category. There's a fastball, and he's taken for a called strike. Now, you can see Reyes didn't like that call, but I have to say that pitch there that caught the corner supposedly to Reyes, I can understand Reyes having a beef because it looked like it was a little bit on the low side. Nice job there by Tomoya Mori to be able to frame that into a strike. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field, coming over hard, sliding, and unable to make the catch is the left fielder Nakagawa. That's going to get at least 1 run in. Over to pick it up, and coming in to score the second run is going to be Gunji as he scores all the way from first. We're going to have to see how they score that. Nakagawa came a long way to have to get it, and it looked like as he went for it, it deflected off his glove. So we'll see what the official score has to say, but the Fighters have now jumped out to a 2-0 lead here. It was a breaking ball that kind of hung in the zone, got it off the end of the bat, and as the left fielder Nakagawa, as he tried to slide, he got it off the tips of his fingers. Over to get it was Watanabe, but the damage had been done because the runner from first, Gunji, came all the way around to score. And it is a 2-0 Fighters lead here in the bottom of the first inning. And standing at second base is Franmil Reyes. So let's see what they officially had to score. Haven't got the official. Looks like they've scored at a hit. But is it a single and advancing on the throw to second? I don't know. Here's the first pitch to Kotaro Kiyomiya. It is belted down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. And this ball is going to be gone. A 2-run shot for Kiyomiya, and that has extended the lead to 4-0 here for the Fighters. And just like that, the explosions and the fireworks are going off early in Hokkaido as Anderson Espinoza finds himself giving up twice as many runs as he's given up all year. So 4-0 now. They did rule it as a double for Reyes. Interesting. And he did pick up 2 RBIs. Kiyomiya, of course, getting the 2-run homer here, making the scoreline 4-0. And that's going to bring Chusei Minami to the plate. Our friend 500 shows deep says, I guess that was a losing pick. Well, I guess if you picked the under for the first 5, probably didn't score on that. First pitch was a ball to Minami. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander Espinoza kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is pop foul behind home plate, and the count now goes to 1-2. One thing I will say is that you sometimes see that when teams go out and score a bunch of runs in the first inning, then the bats go quiet the rest of the way, and we'll have to keep our eyes here on the Fighters. Obviously, they're off to a good start. Minami, who leads the league in home runs with 9, takes a breaking ball upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend 500 shows deep says he took the Buffaloes. Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, I wouldn't be too worried quite yet. I think there's still a lot of time to come as that breaking ball goes all the way to the backstop. Count is 3-2 to Minami. But I would be worried about Espinoza's pitch count. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander delivers a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Minami's in the books. He's gone for out number 3 here in the first inning. Well, lots of damage done here. 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. No errors and nobody left aboard. Your score, as we are now through 1 complete, it is the Fighters with a 4-0 lead over the Buffaloes. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you for hanging in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll see you in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Tomoya Mori, Bob Seymour, and Ryota Akita to come to bat in the second inning. As Ryu Ying is on the mound here for the Fighters. So Gu Lin had himself in a little bit of trouble in the first inning with a couple of runners aboard and 1 out, and he was able to get the side. So the Taiwanese right-hander, who was a couple of years ago the MVP of the Chinese Professional Baseball League in Taiwan, getting a opportunity to get a start here tonight. Curious to see how this will take over for him as the first pitch on the way. Fastball misses down to Maury for ball one. Maury hitting .253. He's got a homer and 3 runs batted in. Batting from the left side here against Gullin. As the pitch is on the way, there is a fastball swung on and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander kicks and delivers slow breaking ball. That misses inside. I don't know if I like what Maury did there. Literally ran backwards out of the batter's box. I think that if I'm the home plate umpire, if he did that to me too often, I think I'd be going up with the right hand too close to make a decision. There's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maury waggling the bat. Now he extends it in front of him. Yeah, the pitch on the way. Fastball lifted, foul down the left field line, and the count still is at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Maury. As we mentioned before, and we said in that first inning, sometimes you see teams with a big first inning, and then the bats just go silent. Unless you're the Swallows. I mean, the Swallows last night shoved, I think it was 16 on the board against the Dragons. It's quite the way to start the month of May. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 3-2 to Maury. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Buffalo catcher as the pitch on the way. Fastball misses up and away, and that's going to be ball 4. So Maury aboard with a leadoff walk here to start the second inning. It's going to bring Bob Seymour to the plate. It's going to bring the third baseman, Gunji, in to have a word with his right-hander. I wonder what Gullin, how they communicate. I don't know if he speaks Japanese or if he just speaks Mandarin. I think I read it was 95% of the Taiwanese population speaks Mandarin. There's only a very, very small portion that still consider Japanese to be their main tongue. Of course, it's been over 80 years now that they have been no longer under Japanese control, as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Seymour. No balls and 1 strike. Again, Gullin getting the sign as he works himself to the belt. Here comes the 0-1. Kicks and fires. The fastball misses outside. The count now goes to 1-1. Seymour has a couple of homers, 12 RBIs on the season. We saw him hit one the other night to left center field at the Kyocera Dome, showing some opposite field power. Here comes the 1-1. Gullin really takes his time out of the set. Pitch is delivered. There's a fastball swung on. This is belted into deep right center field. This ball could be trouble. Looking up, and it is gone. A home run for Bob Seymour. So our friend 500 shows deep told you, stick around because this game here is going to have some fireworks. So if you took the under in the first 5 innings in this one, before the game started, you probably have had your ticket blow up. So that is going to bring Maury in, and it brings Seymour around with a 2-run shot, his 3rd of the year, and that is going to cut the lead in half to 4-2. And that'll bring up the right fielder in Ryoto Kita. And for Kita, well, he's hitting .263 on the year, no homers and 4 runs batted in. As the right-hander Gullin kicks and delivers, there's a slow breaking ball swung on his chop softly in front of the plate. The pitcher is going to have to hurry. He throws it. It's not going to be in time anyway. Leaping up to come down with it was the first baseman Kiyomiya. That's going to go as an infield single for Kita as he gets down the line really well. And they're going to keep it moving here as it's going to bring up the 9-hole hitter in Kotaro Kobayashi. It's got to drive you insane as a manager. You always say after you put up some runs, you got to come out and put up a 0. And that is certainly not what the doctor ordered for the fighters. So this brings Kobayashi to the plate. He's hitting 193, 4 homers and 9 RBIs. Looks like he's starting to get it going a little bit. He had a couple of hits in the game that we saw earlier in the week. There's a fastball missing outside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Kobayashi. 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander Guilin getting the sign. Kita does not have any stolen bases this year, but he moves fairly good. Keep your eye on him. Then so are the fighters as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner. So I guess if you're going to go anywhere, don't go anywhere at all, because we're going to have ourselves a full run fest here tonight. Pitch on the way, breaking ball, catches the outside corner, late call from the home plate umpire. Count goes even at 1-1. Looking at the scores from last night in the NPB, one of the games that stood out for me, obviously, was the game between the Bay Stars and the Swallows, where the Swallows shoved a 16 spot up on the board. As there was a fastball swung on his grounded foul just past the third base coach's box, and the count now 1-2 to Kobayashi. Fighters won last night 5-1. It was Kato who got the win. Fighters scored 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 1 in the sixth. Buffaloes had opened the scoring with the 1 on the top of the first. It was Castro's 4th home run, and Manami hit the 9th home run. So those were the big blows of the game. Castro's counted for 3 RBIs. Fastball misses down. Count now 2-2 to Kobayashi. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander Guilin holding to the set. Now the pitch. Fastball misses down. It's going to be 3-2. My concern that I've seen from at least the Taiwanese pitchers, this would be the Taiwanese pitchers in the Taiwanese league, is just the command and control. They just don't have enough strike throwers. You saw that front and center last year, or I did anyway. Here's the 3-2, but instead Guilin steps off the backside of the rubber. Kita not going anywhere. So the right-hander again working to the set now delivers. There's a fastball that misses down. There goes the runner down to second base. The throw is not going to be in time. And Kita is going to get himself a stolen base. Or is he? No, Kobayashi is going to get on with ball 4. So they threw down for nothing. Kita over to second. That's going to put runners at first and second for the Buffaloes, and it's going to bring the top of the order in Haruto Watanabe to the plate, but it's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Fighters dugout at warp speed, making his way to the mound as he wants to have a couple of words with his right-hander. So the Bob Seymour 2-run homer here in the second inning has cut the lead in half, and the Buffaloes currently looking for more as they got 2 on and nobody out on the top part of the batting order, ready to come to bat. That's always the thing. If you can turn, if your bottom 3 are able to turn the batting order over, you got a single and a walk, that does the magic tricks. Makes it really, really, really difficult to have to come back from. So this brings Watanabe to the plate. He struck out his first time up, batting .380 on the year. He's 19 for 50 with 3 homers and 7 runs driven in. Gullin checks the runner at second, now delivers. There's a fastball that misses off the inside corner, and the count is 1-0. So one of the hottest hitters for the Buffaloes standing at the plate. Looking for something fat to feast on here. So 1 ball and no strikes to Watanabe. Right-hander Gullin checks the runner, now delivers. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner for called strike. Count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Gullin checks the runner over at second. Nods in agreement. Now he works himself into the set position. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, that's dropping in for a called strike. Watanabe didn't like the call. Late call again by the home plate umpire. Thought it was a bit inside by the look of that one. Or maybe it's a bit high. Regardless, Watanabe not a fan of the call. So here comes the 1-2. Watanabe doing a couple of knee bends. As the right-hander Gullin kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Watanabe down on strikes for the second time tonight, and it's going to leave it all up to the first baseman in Yuma Mune. Well, for Mune, he's 1 for 1 tonight. He singled in the first inning, but he was left stranded. As Mune steps in and adjusts his chain. He's got his average up to 272 on the year now with those 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. So Mune adjusts himself, ready to go here to face the right-hander Gullin. Gullin be able to get himself out of the jam. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up down the left field line. Backing up is the shortstop. Coming in is the left fielder, and it is going to be the left fielder Nomura calling off Mizuno to make the catch, and that is going to do it as Mune is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Or check that. That's only the 2nd out of the inning. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So 2 gone here. That's going to bring up Ryoma Nishikawa. Now we're already putting the Buffaloes in the books. So Ryoma Nishikawa stepping to the plate, who's 1 for 1 tonight. I guess you only get 1 out per out, or 1 out per strikeout. I was putting an extra 1 up for Haruto Watanabe. So this brings Ryoma Nishikawa 1 for 1 tonight. He's raised his season average to 330. He's had himself a pretty good start to his season. As the first pitch fastball catches the inside corner, and the count is quickly 0-1. The ball's and 1 strike to Nishikawa. Right-hander against the left-hander. Gullin looks to the runner at second as he works to the set. Here's the 0-1. Fastball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 0-2. Nishikawa, the 7th hitter to come to the plate in the inning. So no balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting DH of the Buffaloes. As the right-hander Gullin works himself to the belt, he checks the runner Kita over at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball spiked in the dirt, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Nishikawa tapping both sides of the plate. Bends his knees. Now he gets himself into the hitting position. He's got his hands just slightly above his head. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on and missed. That's going to do it as Nishikawa's in the books for the 3rd out of the inning, while Gullin gets himself out of a jam after giving up the 2-run homer to Bob Seymour. 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. No errors and 2 runners left aboard. Scores, we move to the bottom of the second inning. It is the Fighters with a 4-2 lead. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a little bit. Appreciate you for hanging in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Back in just a few. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher. He'll do his introduction, and he'll be back around this evening to keep you entertained. We'll be right back in about 30.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name. And I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom of the second inning, and coming to bat here for the Fighters will be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Taiki Narama, Yua Tamiya, and the top of the order in Tatsuki Mizuno. On the first pitch is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Narama. Narama batting from the right side here, hitting .304 on the year. A couple of homers and 11 RBIs. There is a fastball that he checks his swing on. Home plate umpire goes up with the right hand. And the count is quickly 0-2 to Narama. Espinosa getting the sign from his catcher, Mori. Works and delivers. There's a changeup that misses up and in, and the count goes to 1-2. So ball and 2 strikes. Espinosa again ready to go back to work, working from the windup. Rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander again delivers. There's a breaking ball down. They appeal to the first base umpire. They say that Narama did go around as they checked his swing, and the tag was applied by Mori, and Narama's in the books for the first out of the inning. It's the second strikeout recorded tonight by Espinosa, and that'll bring Yua Tamiya to the plate. So for Yua Tamiya, batting .266, couple homers, and 6 RBIs. Right-hander Espinosa ready to go. He rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is lined down the left field line. It's going to get itself into the corner. Playing it off the wall is the left fielder Nakagawa, and cruising into second with a 1-out double is Yua Tamiya. The Fighters have themselves a base runner here with 1 gun. That'll bring up the top of the order in Tatsuki Mizuno. Well, for Mizuno, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded back to the pitcher to start the ball game. Tamiya, the runner over at second. He gets his lead established. And that is the left-handed hitting Mizuno at the plate. In the first pitch he swings at, and he lifts it into left center field. It's deep, giving chase all the way to the warning track, and making the catch is Watanabe, tagging at second, but retreating back to the bag is Tamiya. That's going to retire Mizuno for the second out of the inning. Surprisingly, that ball that he hit, it just kept carrying and carrying and carrying. Watanabe able to run it down at the edge of the warning track. So that's going to put 2 in the books. It'll bring up the center fielder in Rodolfo Castro. Castro, 1 for 1 tonight, singled in his only trip. He came around and scored a run. The 2-run double by Franmil Reyes. As he waits here on the offering, he's 7 for 32 now on the year. And ironically, as he's pulled his average up over the 230 mark, 4 of the 7 hits that he has have left the ballpark. So 1 ball and no strikes here to Castro. Again, Espinosa holds set, now delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. One thing I'm going to say about Espinosa tonight is he really has not attacked the hitters as I would have expected him. I find that he's been just a little too cute. His command just really isn't there. As it's 2 balls and no strikes to Castro. He checks the runner at second. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on his pop foul into the seats behind home plate, and the count now goes to 2-1. But, as we said before in some of our other streams, that if you can get through the first inning, the starters can somehow get very, very tough after that. Once they get used to the mound and their release point and everything else, that's where they start to really engage in their form. So we'll have to see if this will hold true for Espinosa. Now time has been called. So 2 balls and 1 strike as Castro steps out. And we'll do the offering all over again. Espinosa again working himself to the set, now delivers. Fastball swung on, lifted into center field, coming in hard, racing it hard, and it's going to fall in front of Watanabe, and that's going to score a run from second. As Tamiya comes all the way in to score, it's going to increase the lead to 5-2. So Castro with a RBI single, his second hit of the night. That is going to bring up the left fielder in Yuki Nomura. So the runs just keep coming here in Hokkaido as the Fighters have extended their lead to a 5-2 lead. Basically, the Bermuda Triangle. Watanabe was so far away. The right fielder, Kita, he couldn't get there. I believe it was a shortstop. Kirby was trying to make his way out, or was it the second baseman, Oda? And it just fell in between the 3 of them. It looks like a line drive in the box score for Castro. Our friend 500 Shows Deep says, ugh. Yeah, that's what we just talked about a minute ago. You come back with 2 runs, your pitcher's got to put up a 0. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, counts 0-1 to Nomura. And then you got to get that momentum back and stay on the sticks. But there's nothing worse that you come back with a couple of runs, and the next thing you know is your pitcher gives it right back. So no balls and 1 strike to Nomura, who grounded to the pitcher his first time up. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Now delivers. Breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes to 1-2 on Nomura. So a ball and 2 strikes. Already 47 pitches here for Espinosa. We're only in the second inning. And again, he throws to first base, and again, diving back in time is the runner, Castro. Probably a good pitch to run on here for Castro. Either get yourself into scoring position or might be a run and hit situation for the Fighters. Here's the 1-2. Espinosa again throws over to first, and again diving back to the base is the runner, Castro. If you just joined us, well, it was the Fighters in the bottom half of the first, putting up a 4 spot, highlighted by a 2-run Kotaro Kiyomiya home run. And the Buffaloes answered back in the second with a 2-run Bob Seymour homer. And again, they throw to first base, and again, diving back is Castro. Castro is getting a good kick out of this one as he gets up smiling. But the Fighters have answered back with the RBI single off the bat at Castro to bring home Tamiya here in the second. It's now a 5-2 scoreline. As the right-hander again works himself into the set position. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball misses way upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2. Really concerned about Castro. They might as well just think about burying Nomura right here. Take care of the hitter. Don't worry about the base runner at this point. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Espinosa holding to the set. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses down and away. Well, now you know the runner is going to be moving. 2 outs here in the inning. After he goes to the dish, Castro will be on the run. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Espinosa doesn't like the sign he gets. Now he gets one that he enjoys as he nods in agreement with Tomoya Mori. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Nomura's in the books. He's gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the Fighters in their half of the inning. Well, they get a run back. They had 1 run on the benefit of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. Your score as we move now to the top of the 3rd inning, it is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters with a 5-2 lead over the Buffaloes. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the 3rd inning. It is turning into a bit of a slugfest here. It'll be Oda, Nakagawa, and Mori, the heart of the batting order for the Buffaloes, to come to bat here in inning number 3. 5-2 is the scoreline here, as these 2 clubs have been able to flex their muscles in the first 2 innings. Oda struck out his first time up 0 for 1 tonight. Takes a breaking ball outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Oda. So if you took the under here in the first 5 innings, you are hooped. One would have to think, as 7 runs have already been spotted up. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Guilin kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the first base line. The count now 1-2 to Oda. So a ball and a couple of strikes. Again, Guilin checking in, working himself into the set position. The 1-2 on the way. Fastball swung on, and that's going to be lifted foul into the seats down the first base line. And the count is going to remain at 1-2 to Oda. So right-hander again working to the set now, delivers. There's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. And Oda down on strikes for the second time tonight. And by our counts, that's strikeout number 5 for Gu Lin here, as he has recorded 5 of the 7 outs tonight via the strikeout. Oda in the books. That's going to bring up the left fielder in Kai Nakagawa. Well, for Nakagawa, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to second to end the first inning. Takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. He just couldn't come up with the play when the ball had hit the glove, or hit his glove off of the Franmil Reyes. There is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count goes to 0-2. I have to tell you, got a view of the moon off a reflection off one of the buildings that I'm looking at. It's kind of a weird piece right now, as there's a breaking ball missing outside for 1-2. It's not like it's a special moon, I don't believe. I don't think we're in the full moon season yet. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Pitch on the way, breaking ball down. They appeal to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go, and that's going to keep going the count to 2-2 on Nakagawa. I have to say, the one pitch that's special for Gu Lin is his breaking ball. He's got a lot of hitters waving at it here tonight. And the pitch is a fastball that backs Nakagawa off the plate, and the count now goes full to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gu Lin working himself to the set. Now here comes the payoff pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field. Giving chase on the warning track is Rodolfo Castro, and he's there to make the catch. Oh boy, Nakagawa ran into that one. He just didn't hit it far enough, as he's going to be retired for the second out of the inning, and that'll leave it all up to the catcher and Tomoya Mori. So he gave it a ride, but just not far enough. Just got a little bit underneath it. I don't know enough about the Escon field, how the ball carries when the roof is closed to when it's open. I've only seen it open one time. Kind of makes you wonder why even build the retractable dome, as that fastball misses down and the count is 1-0. You just build the straight up closed variety of the domes. I think I've only seen the Pepe Dome open one time. It's also a retractable roof, as there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count now even at 1-1 to Mori. In fact, it was such a long time that the Pepe Dome, I'd never seen it open, and all of a sudden one night, roof was open, stars were beautiful in the sky, and I was like, holy man. No idea. Breaking ball misses. Count now goes to 2-1. Some ways it kind of reminded me of the old igloo in Pittsburgh, where the Penguins used to play in the National Hockey League. Fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 2-2 on Mori. Igloo was a stadium that was actually a retractable roof. I forget the movie that was shot there once upon a time. There's a fastball swung on, grounded to short. Fielded by Mizuno. He throws to first. Mori's in the books on a ground out, 6-3. That's going to do it. That's the first 1-2-3 inning of the night, as the Buffaloes go quietly and in order here. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Now moving to the bottom of the third inning, your score is the Fighters with a 5-2 lead over the Buffaloes. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom of the third in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Double X Telly says he needs the Buffaloes to win. Well, there's a few people in the chat tonight that are on your side as well. It is a 5-2 lead for the Fighters as we move to the bottom half of inning number 3. Be the heart of the batting order to come up for Hokkaido, as it'll be Yuya Gunji, Franmil Reyes, and Kitaro Kiyomiya. This game here has had a lot of fireworks early on. We will see how this one all plays out here tonight. So Gunji coming to the plate, he had walked and scored a run his first time up. He was brought home on the 2-run double off the bat of Franmil Reyes as he steps to the dish. Batting .233 on the year, a couple homers and 9 runs batted in. And the pitch from Espinosa on the way. Fastball misses way outside. The count is 1-0. 5-2 Fighters enjoying the lead here. 50 pitches through the first 2 innings for Espinosa. And that pitch is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count now goes to 1-1. And I would have to think at this point, he's got to be in, I gotta say damage control, but he has to be in where he's got to try to get through at least 5 innings. Take it easy on the Buffalo bullpen. Fastball spiked into the dirt, and that goes all the way to the backstop, and the count now 2-1 to Gunji. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Fastball swung on, and this is line foul down the left field line, and that is going to hook foul, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Espinosa gets himself a new baseball. He's ready to go back at it here. As the right-hander ready to go, he kicks and he delivers. Fastball swung on, it is going to be lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to be playable. Bob Seymour underneath it. He's there to make the catch. And Gunji is going to be retired for the first out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away. Brings up the Franimal and Franmil Reyes. Well, for Reyes, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He doubled and also scored a run. He's driven in a pair. As he hit that ball to left center field that Kai Nakagawa wasn't able to make the grab on. Just went off the tip of his glove as he was sliding to try to make the catch. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1. So the 1-1 pitch on the way is a fastball that misses on the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And Espinosa rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be looped over the head of the shortstop, Kirby. It's going to get down for a base hit. So Reyes has got his second hit of the night as he's aboard with a 1-out single, and that's going to bring Kitaro Kiyomiya to the plate. Well, for Kiyomiya, he delivered the big blow in the first inning, hit the 2-run homer. Was his 6th of the season. The hit parade or the homer parade for the Fighters continues. You have a number of players in their lineup that have been able to flex their muscles this year. Multiple home runs already. 4 or more, that would include the group of Castro, Nomura, Kiyomiya, and of course, Manami. There is a fastball swung on it, is driven into the right center field gap, rounding second and heading to third and making it easily is going to be Reyes. That's going to put runners at the corners. So single by Kiyomiya. Reyes all the way around to third. It'll bring up Chusei Minami to the plate. Double X Telly says, is it there? Yeah, you just have to listen into the call here. The ticker is correct. We only update the ticker at the end of each half inning. Runners at the corners here. It brings Minami to the plate. One gone in the inning. Minami struck out his first time up. So 0 for 1 in this one. We have a conference of Buffaloes on the mound as the interpreter and everything come, and that is going to be it. There is action in the bullpen for the Buffaloes. And it looks like it is, if my binoculars are correct, it's number 49, Reiko Katayama. Sorry, Kiyomiya actually hit a double there. He's at second base. So runners are at second and third. I thought he was stopped at first. He was able to leg out the extra base hit. That brings Minami to the plate with one out. So 2 runners in scoring position here. Pitch on the way. Fastball. Take it for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Minami. Minami taps this one here. Our friend 500 Shows Deep says he's out of this one. Yeah, I appreciate you for hanging in with us, and who knows what's going to happen. I mean, the way this game is going, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Certainly doesn't look good for the Buffaloes here in the early going when their ace Espinoza on the mound, looking to try to go to 5-0. Getting roughed up here. 63 pitches, and we're only in the third inning. I think he has got to be in survival mode right now. Pitch is breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into deep left center field. Moving back and making the catch is Watanabe. Tagging at third. Heading home is Reyes. It's going to be a sacrifice fly off the bat of Minami. He's going to get himself an RBI. Over to third goes Kiyomiya. It's going to extend the scoreline to 6-2. And I can understand why 500 Shows Deep is looking for a ticket to the exit. Well, that brings up the 8-hole hitter in Taiki Narama. Narama 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. So 2 gone here in the inning. And that is, it looks like it's going to be the end of night for Anderson Espinoza. They have seen enough. It is a move to the bullpen as the interpreter and the pitching coach come out. We're going to get yourself a pitching change. And we'll be back here in just a couple of moments with that when we return.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. The Fighters have extended their lead to 6-2, and we do have a pitching change. It is going to be Reiko Katayama going on in relief as the right-hander is just completing his tune-up tosses. As the Fighters are enjoying a 6-2 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. So as he finishes his tune-up tosses, we'll remind you again, we'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern for the Lions versus the Marines. Do the Tigers and the Dragons at 10:30 Pacific time on Sunday evening. It'll be for the May 4th game in Japan. And then Tigers and Dragons, which will be Tuesday in Japan, and that'll be on May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, depending upon where you're at in the world. And then May the 6th, it'll be the May 6th game. That'll be the Fighters and the Eagles. And that will be the Wednesday in Japan game. That'll go off at 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. Our friend Double X Telly says, yeah, wake up to the Buffaloes winning. Yeah, you never know. As we said, it's one of those crazy things. This brings to the plate Taiki Narama, batting an even 300 now, 21 for 70. He takes a breaking ball for called strike, count as 0-1. I mean, we watched the game the other night when they brought in Ogata. Struck out all 6 batters he faced. The Buffaloes pitcher. Pretty impressive outing. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Certainly took the sting out of this game, that's for sure. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away. Count is 2-1 with all the scoring so far. I said, hey, maybe we're going to get ourselves a decent pitching matchup, or maybe we're going to get, if I had to pick somebody to get chased, it would have been Gu Lin to go first. There has been quite a bit of scoring around the NPB tonight. 2-0 for the Tigers over the Giants. That's in the bottom of the 4th at the Cochin. Nothing between the Carp and the Dragons. 2-1 on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Count goes to 2-2. Lions have a 4-1 lead over the Marines. That is in the top of the 4th. And the Hawks have a 5 spot on the board against the Eagles. That's in the top of the 5th inning. This is the game that is the laggard one tonight, as we are only in the 3rd inning. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the first base side, but that ball is going to slice into the seats, and the count remains at 2-2 to Narama. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the right-hander getting his signs as he works himself into the set position. Here comes the 2-2. Kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. And the right-hander working to the set, pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count 3-2 to Narama. If you've just joined us, well, there's been a lot of runs put forward on the board here tonight. 6-2 is the lead for the Fighters, as the 3-2 pitch ready to come here to Narama. On the way, breaking ball swung on, hammered, foul, and almost hits the runner, Kiyomiya, over at third. Oh, he had to dance to get out of the way of that one. He's laughing about it now, but the ball was absolutely a bullet. Almost ran, oh boy. Had to leap out of the way. He was in foul territory, as you are instructed to do. The ball just about nailed him. Whew. He nods that he's okay, but that'll clear your sinuses for sure. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. On its way, fastball, another one swung on and lifted foul down the right field line as it gets itself into the seats. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. It remains to Narama. Yeah, you always got to wonder sometimes when you're taking your lead down the line. You want to run yourself into a line drive, that's for sure. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. On the way, breaking ball misses way upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. So the first batter that the reliever Katayama faces, he walks. That's going to put runners at the corners. It's going to bring up the catcher in Yua Tamiya. Well, for Tamiya tonight, he's officially 1 for 1. He doubled his only time up, and he did come around to score the 5th run of the ball game for the Fighters. With that double, he's raised his season average to 275. So Tamiya ready to get himself back in. Steps up to the batter's box, ready to go. I was having a chat with my old college summer coach early this morning. As Yua Tamiya is a catcher, and I was thinking about catchers, and he was saying that the college program that he had coached at in Michigan, head coach said he could never have too many catchers. That's what it seems like in Hokkaido. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats, and the count is no balls and 1 strike to Tamiya. He's absolutely right. You don't want to have guys go down hurt or injured and not have anything to back it up, because to control the running game, you need somebody behind the plate to be able to do that, as well as some effective pitchers to hold the runners. So here comes the 0-1. Pitch on the way, fastball, that's missing inside. Count goes even at 1-1 to Tamiya. You ever get those nights that you feel that the umpire is getting paid by the hour? There's been a lot of calls tonight that I would have thought might have been warranted for the right hand to go up. But not tonight from the home plate umpire, Koga, in this one here tonight. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Instead, they throw it over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner, Narama. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Yua Tamiya. 2 gone here in the inning. Runners at the corners. Is a 6-2 Fighters lead. They're already in the Buffalo bullpen, and now time has been called. And the pitching coach is coming out here for the Buffaloes. I wonder if he was summoned by Tomoya Mori. The trainer is coming out as well. He says he's okay. The home plate umpire has gone out. I don't think they're going to get charged with a trip for that one. There is the pitching coach who came out because they were wanting to ask the pitcher how he was doing, or at least they felt maybe there was a potential for an injury here. He says he's all right, and we're ready to go back to the live action. As again, they throw over to first base, and again, diving back is the runner, Narama. Here comes the 1-1. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to third. Mune fields it. He throws to second. And that is going to retire Narama on a fielder's choice. It goes in the books 5-4 for out number 3. And that'll do it here for the Fighters in their half of the third inning. Well, it took forever to get a third of the game in the books. We're an hour 25 deep. 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was a runner. Check that. 2 runners left the board. And your score as we move now to the top of the 4th inning. It is a 6-2 lead for the Fighters. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. But boy, this game here is going to be on for a while, it would have to think. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Bob Seymour, Ryota Akita, and Kentaro Kobayashi to come to bat here. And the first pitch to Seymour is a breaking ball that misses inside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. 60 pitches in 3 innings for Guilin. And if I was betting man earlier in this one, I would have thought he would have been the one chased for Anderson Espinoza. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count now goes even at 1-1 to Bob Seymour. Seymour, the only offense so far tonight for the Orix Buffaloes. As the pitch is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2 balls and a strike. Right-hander against the left-hander. As he kicks and fires, there's a slow breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Back onto the warning track is Castro, and he moves in and he makes the catch just in front of it. That is going to retire Seymour. Seymour just got underneath it a little bit. So you're looking to bid for his 2nd homer of the night. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring Ryota Akita to the plate. So for Akita, 1 for 1 tonight. He singled in his only trip. He was left stranded at second as the pitch on the way. Slow breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over towards second. They're going to have to hurry to get him, and it's not going to be in time. Oh, it was a good effort there by the second baseman, Narama. He had to come in from deep second, field it on the run, and trying to make the throw as the ball was just chopped past the pitcher. So he's got to get himself an infield single as Akita's able to beat it out. That'll bring up the shortstop in Kentaro Kobayashi. Thinking ahead, Kiyomiya for the Fighters, of course. Nice athletic play there by Narama, but unable to retire the batter. So this brings Kobayashi to the plate. Batting from the right side here as the right-hander Guilin delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend Samurai Per says he's back, still top of the 4th. Slow game. Yeah, you got that right. This game here has been dragging along, and lots of scoring in this one so far. 8 runs in the first 3 innings between the 2 teams. Looks like more to follow. Fastball swung on and grounded, just foul past the bag at third base. Count 1 ball and 1 strike to Kotaro Kobayashi. Yeah, lots of base runners, lots of action. The Buffaloes went down in order 1, 2, 3 in their half of the third inning. The Fighters have not gone down in order yet, so base runners all over the base paths. That'll bring the game to a snarl. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball that just misses outside. Counts 2-1. Gu Lin can't believe it. He thought that pitch was a strike. I have to say that I'm right there with him. The home plate umpire tonight has been a little bit tight. Not just for the Fighters, but for both teams. Here's the 2-1 pitch. As Gu Lin works again to the set. Kicks and delivers. Fastball up and in. They appeal over to the first base umpire, and up goes the right hand as Kobayashi was trying to get out of the way. Couldn't hold up his swing. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Samurai Prayer says, I hope your voice is going to survive till the end of the 9th inning. Yeah, you and me both. This game here has been already 90 minutes in the books. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted in deep left center field. This ball could be trouble. Moving back on the front of the warning track and making the catch is Castro. Nice job there by him to haul that one in. It's going to retire Kobayashi for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the center fielder in Haruto Watanabe. Well, for Watanabe, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out in both of his plate appearances. Watanabe waits here on the offering from the right-hander. Gu Lin, who holds to the set. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses up, and the count is 1-0 to Watanabe. Watanabe still hitting at .373. Off to a heck of a start is the center fielder of the Buffaloes. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. Yeah, the voice holding up is one thing, but the other thing is the ball game being entertaining. I mean, here we are, hour and a half deep. Normally, the rule of thumb for me is if you get through 5 innings, an hour and a half, you're doing pretty good. This game here, this could be a 4-hour affair as that fastball misses down and in, and the count is 3-0, especially if you got pitchers who don't have a command or not throwing strikes. I'm not sure right now. This is 73 pitches for Gu Lin, but the combined total for the Buffaloes pitchers has got to be north of 80 by now, I would think. There's a fastball that misses up and away. It's going to be ball 4, and Watanabe's aboard with a walk. And when I look at the walks in this one here, that by my count is the 3rd free pass issued by Gu Lin. That's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Fighters dugout. So they got runners at first and second with 2 gone. Left-handed hitting third baseman Yuma Mune slated to come to the plate. So that conference was a quick one with Gu Lin. As they do have action in the bullpen, do the Fighters. We're looking to see who that would be. By our counts, it looks like it is number 41, who, of course, we don't have a number 4. There it is. It's Koji Fukutani. So Fukutani up and throwing as Yuma Mune at the plate here. And the pitch on the way, fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Mune 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also flown to left. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball misses inside, and the count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Buffaloes find themselves in a 4-run deficit. 2 aboard here, 2 gone in the inning. Breaking ball swung on and chopped foul over on the first base side. The count now goes to 1-2 on Yumamune. I was giving it some thought the other day, thinking with all the modern technology that we have, you'd think that they'd have some sensors by now to see, how arm recovery would be. I think somebody's working on it somewhere in a lab. The fatigue would be, should we bring them back on 5 days or 6 days? There's a fastball taken on the outside corner for a called third strike. Mune is in the books for out number 3, and that's going to do it. I'll come back with thoughts on that in just a couple of moments. And by my count tonight, that looks like it's the 6th strikeout recorded through 4 innings for Gu Lin, as Mune is gone for out number 3. No runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There was no errors, and 2 runners are left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 4th. It is a 6-2 Fighters lead. Stick around, everybody. We're talking to Gu Lin in the dugout. We'll see if he comes back out for another inning. We're going to take our time out and be back in just a few. 6-2 is the score. Bottom of the 4th inning, just around the corner. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are a little bit late getting back into the saddle here as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is a 6-2 Fighters lead. As the catcher, Tamiya, is talking to his pitcher, Gu Lin. It makes me wonder if Gu Lin is going to be done for the night, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Slated to come to bat for the Fighters here. It'll be the top of the order. That means it is going to be Mizuno, followed by Castro and Nomura. And the first pitch breaking ball misses outside for ball 1. The count is 1-0 to Mizuno. Mizuno 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded out and he has flown out in his 2 trips. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes even to 1-1. Ball and a strike. Mizuno taps both sides of the plate, digs himself in. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there is a fastball swung off and then fouled into the feet of Mizuno, and the count is 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander holding to the set and kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Mizuno in the books. He's gone for out number 1 here. That's the first strikeout of the night, recorded by Katayama. That'll bring up the center fielder in Rodolfo Castro. Friend Samurai Prayer says Kataro Kiyomiya may be having the best best season of his career so far. Stats aren't bad. Yeah, I would agree with that. As the first pitch delivered to Rodolfo Castro is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Castro 2 for 2 tonight, has a couple of singles, a run, and an RBI. He's raised his season average to 242. Started the night at 194. Gotta like it when you don't have that many at bats. There's a fastball swung on straight back, and the count now is 0-2. Be big for the Fighters if they could get Castro going a little bit here. Also have to think the fighters, the way they played in the month of April, they've got to try to unlock some solutions, maybe with some different players in the lineup. We saw Ariel Martinez recently, although he didn't look particularly good. Fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Castro. But certainly some of the players that they would have in their lineups be able to make some changes to maybe unlock some success. Here's the pitch, and instead time has been called as Castro feels the pitcher has taken way too much time. Castro's done that a couple times. He did that to Espinosa tonight as well. Sometimes when the players ask for time, they'll tap and apologize. No, there's no apology here. That's for certain. He knows what he wants to do. So the right-hander again working to the set position. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Castro. As I say, it'd be good for the fighters if they could get something going here. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, hammered into left field, racing in, sliding, and making the catch as he was moving toward the foul line is the left fielder Kai Nakagawa. So Castro's going to be gone. Unlike the line or the ball that was hit to left field, this one here, nice job by the left fielder to make the grab for out number 2, and that'll bring up the left fielder Yuki Nomura. Our friend Samurai Prayer says that Kiyomiya broke the home run record in his high school games, and then Rentaro Sasaki broke it later. Yeah, that's for sure. Also, Kitaro Kiyomiya, as that fastball misses outside for ball, if I'm not mistaken, was a part of the Little League World Series team when he was 12 years old. Big star even at 12. There's a fastball swung on. It's got a line into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Nomura's aboard with a single. It's going to bring up the third baseman in Yuya Ginji. Our friend Double X Telly says, which team is Kiyomiya on? Kiyomiya is, with the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighters, he is their first baseman. Normally their first baseman. I got to see him play a little bit of the outfield a week or so ago. Also has played some third base. Well, this is going to bring Gunji to the plate. As the right-hander works himself into the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Gunji. So no balls and 1 strike. And there's a fastball swung, and it almost takes the head of the pitcher off as it's lined into center field. And to get it is the center fielder Watanabe. Yuya Gunji drilled it back as fast as it was coming in. He's got himself a single, and now it's going to bring Franmil Reyes to the plate with 2 aboard and nobody out. It's one way to clear your sinuses. A bullet hit right back at your face. Had to kind of do the limbo to get out of the way there was Katayama. Brings the big fella to the plate in Reyes. Reyes is 2 for 2 tonight. He's got a single, a double. He's driven in a pair, and he's scored a pair. He has been involved in 4 of the 6 runs to this point for the fighters. First pitch on the way. Fastball waved at and missed. That was quickly 0-1 to Reyes. So no balls and 1 strike. Reyes taps both sides of the plate. Gets himself settled into the box. As the right-hander works to the set again, checks the runner over at second. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now runs even to 1-1. I was hoping to get through 5 in 2 hours. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It's going to be 2 hours to play 4 innings. This is shaping up to be one of the longer games of the season that we've had. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander works to the set. Fastball swung on. This ball is looped softly over the shortstop's head into center field. Rounding third and heading home is going to be Nomura. That's going to be the 7th run of the ball game, as Franmil Reyes is all smiles as he's got another RBI and a single to go with it. It's going to increase the Fighter lead to 7-2. So the beat rolls on here. He's got big laughter over there at first base. Does the big fella? Well, I guess he did a good job. Really pulled his hands inside, was able to get through the ball there quickly, able to fight it off and drive it up the middle for the base hit past the outstretched glove of the shortstop, Kirby. So 7-2, Fighters now in the lead, as it brings the aforementioned Kentaro Kiyomiya to the plate. So Gunji, the runner at second, Reyes, the runner at first. As Kiyomiya steps in, he has done damage tonight. He has a home run, and he's got a double, and he's got a couple RBIs. 31 for 109. He's batting .284. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that just misses outside. Tamori Mori, you could tell, didn't like that one. I think if we were playing in Major League Baseball, there would be a tap to the helmet for the ABS. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander ready to go again. He checks the runner at second, now delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses way upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Kentaro Kiyomiya. And again, Kiyomiya waggling his bat as the right-hander works himself into the set position. Here comes the 2-0. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped up the middle. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Oda, who underhand flips it to second. Kiyomiya's going to ground himself into a fielder's choice. That is going to retire Reyes for the 3rd out of the inning. Goes in the books as a 4-6 putout. Looks like the big boss may be making a pitching change. Could be the end of the night for Guland. It'll be the battle of the bullpens from here on out. No runs in the inning, 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits, no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we now move to the top of the 5th inning finally. It is going to be the Buffaloes coming to bat. It'll be Nishikawa, Oda, and Nakagawa when we return in just a few. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
That's right, everybody. That's our good friend Matt Hollis. We'll be back at 30 with more. Welcome back, everybody. The dancers are doing their fox dance. We have a pitching change that is going to be Koji Fukutani, who's coming in for Gu Lin. So Koji Fukutani in. Gu Lin is gone, and the first pitch on the way here to Ryoma Nishikawa is a fastball that plate umpire City went around on for strike one, and the count is 0-1. Not hold up his swing as that pitch was coming down and in. So no balls and one strike. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and two strikes. And here we go back again. Fukutani way ahead in the count here as he's ready to face Nishikawa. There's a split finger pitch swung on, grounded to second. Fielded neatly by Narama. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Nishikawa on a ground out 4-3. He's in the books for out number one, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Ryo Oda. And for Oda, well, he's 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out in both of his trips to the dish. So as Oda steps in, ready to first face the reliever Fukutani, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Best part about this game could be maybe the bullpen. If they can all both come in and deal, it would quicken the pace up for sure. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to the left side, fielded neatly by Gunji. He fires to first, and Oda's in the books on a ground out. That goes 5-3 for out number 2. It's going to leave it all up to the left fielder in Kai Nakagawa. Well, that would be their part in picking up the pace of the game. Brings Nakagawa to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded out and he is flown out. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there is a fastball that just misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Kai Nakagawa. Right-hander works to the belt. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on line past the glove of the third baseman, Gunji, on the left field. Over to cut it off. Nice job there by Nomura. He fires it back in, and it's going to be a base hit single with 2 out here for Nakagawa. It's going to bring up the catcher in Tomoya Mori. Well, for Mori, he is officially 0 for 1. He's got a walk and he has scored a run. So the right-hander ready to go again as he works himself into the set position. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Alex Telly says the Buffaloes are looking good. Looks like the Buffaloes are ready to be skewered. There's a pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. They've had a good start to the season, have the Buffaloes. Unfortunately for them tonight, it is not the case. As they are struggling here in this one. There's a fastball swung on. Mori has hit this ball to deep right field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the warning track, looking up, and this one's gone. A 2-run homer for Mori. And the Buffaloes have cut the lead to 7-4. All the damage coming here with 2 out. So Nakagawa in to score, so don't go away yet. This game's got a lot of life left in it. So our friend who had checked out earlier he said he was hitting a sack. Well, here come the Buffaloes. 7-4 is now the score. That is going to bring Bob Seymour to the plate. Well, for Seymour, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a 2-run homer and a fly out to center so far in this one. Last time up, he drilled the ball right to the warning track. As there's a fastball that misses up and in. The count is 1-0. I have to tell you, if the Buffaloes do come back and win this one, that would be an absolute kick in the backside to the Fighters. Think of how well the Fighters have been. Their pitching has just let them down here. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. For Tomoya Mori, that's only his second home run of the year. Good way for him to start the month of May. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. Moving back to the edge of the warning track is Castro, and he's going to haul that one in. As Seymour has had 3 good swings tonight. 1 has left the yard and 2 to the glove of the center fielder deep. And he's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, we're halfway through this one finally, as it is a 7-4 ball game. 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. No errors and nobody left the board. Going to the bottom of the 5th, 7-4. We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you guys for hanging in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Chusei Manami, Taiki Narama, and Yua Tamiya to come to bat here in the last half of inning number 5. Right-hander Katayama still in the ball game as he delivers a first pitch breaking ball that misses for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. 7-4 Fighters are in the lead as we are in the bottom of inning number 5. There's a fastball that is swung on. It is popped up into shallow center field over to his left, and underneath it is Watanabe, and he's going to haul that one in. That is going to retire Manami for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Taiki Narama. Well, for Narama, he is officially 0 for 1 tonight. He has struck out and walked. As the first pitch to him is a breaking ball. It's taken on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses up and in, and the count now goes even at 1s. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down. Count now goes to 2-1 on Taiki Narama. Right-hander against the right-hander. Katayama delivers. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner for called strike, and the count is 2-2. Steady diet of breaking balls. Katayama right now. I wonder if he'll see the second time through the order in relief here. I guess he will, because this is the first batter that he did face when he came in. There's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field, but it's not deep enough. Coming in and moving over to his left to make the catch is Nakagawa, and that is going to retire Narama for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the catcher in Yua Tamiya. Well, Tamiya's coming to the plate. He is 1 for 1. He's also bounced into a fielder's choice. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Tamiya. So no balls and 1 strike. There's a breaking ball that misses way outside, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander again gets ready to go. He kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, chop foul over on the third base side. The count now runs even at 2s. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball misses up and away, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tamiya. As the 3-2 pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul over on the first base side. Count remains at 3-2 to Tamiya. So the right-hander ready to go again as he works and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and there you go for the first time tonight. The Fighters go down in order, 1, 2, 3 in their half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board, and what do you know? Your score as we are now going to the top of the 6th, it's 7-4 for the Fighters. It is what we like to call the Japanese halftime. And we are going to take ourselves a timeout here. It's about 5 minutes is what they do. We'll put the music on loop. We'll go refresh our beverage. We'll come back for the 6th inning in just a few. That's one way to pick up the pace. We'll be right back in just a bit.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8 and 9 and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes here to start the sixth inning. Be Ryota Okita, Kataro Kobayashi, and the top of the order in Haruto Watanabe, as they are going to be facing a new right-hander for the Fighters. And that new right-hander is going to be number 48. That's going to be Yukiya Saito, as he will be the third pitcher used here for the Fighters in this one. So Saito on in relief, as he will complete his tune-up tosses and will be ready to resume the action in just a few, as it is a 7-4 lead. The Buffaloes are hanging around, and that is going to be a cause for concern for the Fighters. You would have to think the Fighters are a fragile team, at least in terms of their play, and I would think that that is going to be something that you're going to have to keep an eye on here in this one tonight. Well, we are checking out the scores from around Major League Baseball and looking at the stats. One of the things our friend Samurai Prayer had mentioned is that we knew that Murakami had had a home run. We didn't know that it was 2 home runs for Okamoto to pretty much start the month of May for the Blue Jays, but that is the case. He was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. He's got his average up to 228. With those 2 home runs now, he has 7 on the season, which is good for him. He's on pace to smack around 30 homers this year. So we're going to see how that all plays out. Well, it is Kita to lead it off, and then Kobayashi, then the top of the order, Watanabe here to face Saito. As we see how this is all going to play out here. Kita stepping in, batting from the left side. He is 2 for 2 tonight. A couple of singles to his name, and there's a first pitch fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Another player who is off to a decent start with the Blue Jays is Lenyn Sosa, who they got in a trade from the White Sox. Fastball misses up and in, and the count goes to 2-0. Curious, they have a player who's been called up, the Blue Jays. It is Yondrik Pininago, a 23-year-old. Had multiple hit game here tonight for the Blue Jays, as that fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. There's a fastball that misses up and in. And that is going to be ball 4. So a leadoff walk here to Kita, not the way that you want the inning to start. That is going to bring up the shortstop and Kataro Kobayashi. And for Kobayashi, well, tonight he has walked and he has flown to center. He has struggled this season. Not exactly the best performance by his standards. Batting in the 9th spot. When you think about it, a couple of years ago in the playoffs, he was hitting in the 3-hole. There's a fastball up the middle. It hits the mound, and the ball's got eyes into center field. Coming over to pick it up is Castro. And stopping over at second is Kita. Looked like it was going to be a tailor-made double play. Hit the mound, spiked up into the air. Ended up getting through past the glove of the fielders, and now the Buffaloes got runners at first and second with nobody on. It's going to bring Haruto Watanabe to the plate. Our friend Angel Hernandez back in with us. He says, back again, feeling you would have this game. And do I think the Buffaloes will bounce back? Yeah, I do. I was saying in the first inning when the 4 spot got up on the board for the Fighters, I said, be careful because sometimes teams score a bunch in the first. And to their credit, they've added 3 more since then. But, sometimes the offense rolls dry and the other teams will end up coming back on you. And so I guess we'll see what kind of fight back the Buffaloes have here. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, lifted into deep left field. Not deep enough, but underneath it and making the catch is the left fielder, Namura, and that's going to retire Watanabe for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. It'll bring up Yumamune to the plate. And you think about it right now, they're 1 swing of the bat away from tying this game up. Mune has the ability to do it. He's got 4 homers on the year. Angel says he believes in me. We were right on the over. Yeah, that didn't take long. Hopefully you'll be with us tomorrow night at 10 o'clock when we Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern when we do the Lions and the Marines. This ball down, and the count is ball and no strikes to Mune. We were mentioning earlier in the stream, and then the May 4th game and the May 5th game, which will be the Monday, Tuesday games in Japan. We're going to do the Tigers and the Dragons. Couple of Central League action games. And then it'll be Fighters and the Eagles. That'll be the Wednesday game of the Golden Week. Be on the airwaves for that. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. And guess what? We're tied up at 7s. Yumamune has just hit a 3-run homer off of Saito, and the Buffaloes are flexing their muscles and have come back here. Oh boy, that ought to tell you something about the fragility of the Fighters at the moment. A 3-run shot off the bat of Yumamune has now tied the ball game up at 7. We got ourselves a softball score going on here in Hokkaido. So 7-7 scoreline. And it's going to bring Ryoma Nishikawa to the plate. So somebody, whatever, anybody, got to get to our friend 500 shows deep and let them know to wake up because this one here is a brand new ball game. There's a fastball swung on and it is grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is 0-1. Angel says, I knew you were right. Yeah, most of the time we do pretty good. Just got that feeling, it's unbelievable. Now let's see if they can keep the ball rolling. 7-7 tie here in the 6th. Unreal. Split finger pitch swung on a miss. Count now goes to 0-2 on Nishikawa. How about this for a prediction? This game goes 12 innings and it ends in a tie. Oh, I don't know if I could take it. We're 2.5 hours deep. By the time that happens, it'll be like another 2.5 hours in the books. Fastball misses up and away, and the count's 1-2. Better not say it too loud. I might speak it into existence. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. 1 gone here in the inning. 3 runs on the board for the Buffaloes. We are locked at 7s. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and hammered foul down the left field line. And the count now remains at 1-2. So if you just joined us, you made it in at the right time. Unreal. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to Nishikawa as the right-hander works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the left side, fielded neatly by Gunji. He fires to first, and that's going to retire Nishikawa on a ground out 5-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning, and it's going to leave it up to the second baseman in Ryo Oda. So Oda coming to bat. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out twice and grounded out. Nine hits tonight for the Buffaloes so far in this one. And we are finding out that they can hit their way out of trouble. And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Oda. So no balls and 1 strike. Saito delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into left field, but it's going to get down for a base hit in front of the left fielder, Nomura. So Oda with his first knock of the night. He'll bring up the left fielder in Kai Nakagawa. Some pretty loud hits here off of the reliever Saito. As that is going to bring Nakagawa to the plate, who's 1 for 3 tonight. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound to have a few words of wisdom for Saito. So, runner at first is Oda. Kai Nakagawa coming to the plate. 2 gone here in the inning. Nakagawa's got some juice in the bat. Got a couple of home runs this year, but usually he's a little bit better than that. First pitch fastball swung on and lifted foul down the first base line, and the count is quickly 0-1. Nakagawa, a single in 3 trips. He has scored a run. So Yumamune with a timely home run, his 5th of the year. Having himself a decent run this season. As the right-hander again works to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses way outside. Count goes even at 1-1. So just as this game here in particular, as we are in the top of inning number 6, and surprisingly, the other games that are going on are all in the 7th inning, either the top or the bottom. So as far behind as this one was, it's now catching up. There's a ground ball hit over to third. Fielded by Gunji. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Nakagawa. He's gone on a ground out 5-3, and that is going to do it for out number 3 here in the 6th inning. But the big blow, a 3-run homer off the bat of Yumamune. 3 runs in the inning on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is the Fighters 7 and the Buffaloes 7. Kick around, everybody. We'll be back with just a few. Our friend Angel Hernandez says, straight up, who do you think is going to take this game? I'd say Buffaloes. We'll be back for more in just a few after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the last half of the sixth inning. It's the top of the order slated to come to bat for the fighters. That'll be Mizuno, Castro, and Nomura. As we will begin the bottom half of inning number 6. Our friend Angel says, I stayed down through it all. Let's go Orix. He says, let's go Buffaloes. Get the chant. Let's get it going. Appreciate you. We do have a pitching change. As they're going to the bullpen, it looks like it's Kosei Yoshida. And that is exactly who it is, the one-time Koshin legend, as he will be the third pitcher used tonight for the Buffaloes. And facing his former team, by the way, there was a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul. Count is quickly 0-1. Yoshida missed some significant time. He had Tommy John surgery. He was on the shelf, and now he is back in the saddle here again for the fighters as the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on. It has popped up. Foul over on the third base side. Over is Mune. It's playable, and he's there to make the catch, and that is going to retire Mizuno for the first out of the inning. So a quick out here, and that'll bring up the center fielder in Rodolfo Castro. I was saying about putting up a 0. Well, this is where you need to do it if you are the Buffaloes. Got to put up a 0 here. And then get back on the sticks. You got the momentum. You give up a run here, then it's all for naught. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, this is lifted into right center field. Running hard is Watanabe. He slides and make the catch. And that is going to retire Castro for the second out of the inning. And our friend 500 Shows Deep says he fell asleep, and we are still here, and you're right back in it at a 7-7 tie. So don't go anywhere, 500 Shows Deep. We were actually calling for you. He said, somebody make the call. Give him a call. Wake him up. Can't go to bed yet. So Yoshida rocking himself into the windup. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Yuki Nomura tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a single in 3 trips. Yeah, the Buffaloes have come back, and not only that, I've staked my claim, watered my tree, and said that, yes, I think they're going to win now. There's the pitch that misses down. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I made my mark. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Yoshida rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. That's chopped foul over on the third base side. Count now 2 strikes. When Yoshida was with the fighters, there was there was a knock or concern that rumblings out of their camp was that he wasn't working hard enough. And even he kind of acknowledged it or hinted at that in his media interviews. He had to learn how to be a professional, and that was a little different than being a high school phenom. Oh, that was a breaking ball that had a lot of movement on it, and he didn't get the call. That thing had a lot of backdoor run and sink, but the home plate umpire said it didn't catch the corner. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Might want to check that for a little bit of Vaseline. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded to the left side, and it gets through Yuma Mune, usually the reliable Mune, able to make the play, but Nomura aboard with a 2-out single. It's going to bring up the third baseman in Yuya Gunji. And for Gunji, well, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also walked and scored a run. So this is Gunji at the dish with Nomura, the runner, over at first. We're getting his lead as the right-handed hitting Gunji steps in. As Yoshida works himself to the belt, here comes the offering. Breaking ball misses up, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. And waggling the bat is the right-handed hitting Gunji, waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Yoshida. And now time has been called. Bottom of the 6th inning, it is 7 up. Again, Yoshida looking in, getting the sign. Now he works to the belt. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch just missed off the outside corner. Yoshida leaning in, looking at the sign from his catcher. Here comes the 2-0. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3-0 is the count here. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 3-1 to Gunji. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander works himself to the belt. Here comes the 3-1 offering. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Now it's 3-2 to Gunji. Well, the runner is going to be on the move, as Nomura will be in motion once the pitcher delivers to the plate. As Yoshida trying to get himself out of this inning here unscathed. Or the runner on first, 2 gone. And again, stepping in, tapping both sides of the dish is the hitter Gunji. And the right-hander works to the belt. Here comes the payoff pitch. Instead, they throw over to first base, trying to get the runner leaning the wrong way. And diving back in time is Yuki Nomura. So here comes the 3-2 pitch yet again as the right-hander works set. Now delivers. A fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and that's going to keep the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2 here as the right-hander again gets a new baseball. We're ready to go back at it. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming here to Gunji. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. Oh, nice job there by Yoshida as he comes in and steadies the ship for the Buffaloes. And now they got a chance to get back on the sticks again. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, but there was a runner left aboard. Your scores, we're now moving to the top of the 7th inning. It is a 7-7 ball game, and we will be back with all the action here in just a little bit. Top of the 7th around the corner. Lots of action still to go here. The back third of the ball game is upon us. Stay with us, everybody.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
That's right, everybody. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here. If you got nothing else to do and you want to add something to your list on YouTube, check out the channel Baseball Effort and Attitude as we do some breakdowns with not just major league, but also minor league stuff. And we've been posting it up on the regulars. So a couple of weeks deep, we'll have about a weekly video, each one there for your enjoyment. Well, it is going to be Tomoya Mori, Bob Seymour, and Ryota Kida to come to bat here in the top of inning number 7. As we will be resuming the action here. Our friend Angel says, let's make some bread. There is a reliever on the hill here for the Fighters as they go back to their bullpen again. It's Hiroyo Shimamoto. So the lefty making his relief appearance. The pitcher at number 4 used by the Buffaloes in this one. So this brings Mori to the plate. And Tomoya Mori hit a 2-run homer his last time up. And at the time, it cut the lead to 7-4. Or should I say, I believe it was 7-4 at that point. Mori now 20 for 77. He's got a 260 average. He swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul over on the first base side. So quickly 0-1 to Mori. Our friend Marco says, come on, Buffaloes, get the job done. Yeah, a lot of people jumping on the Buffalo train here as the Fighters' bats have gone into the freezer. In the back third of the ball game here in this one tonight, here's the pitch. Fastball misses inside and backs Mori off the plate, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty again ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-2 to Mori. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Again, the lefty works himself to the belt. Now the pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chop foul over on the first base side. Did it stay fair? It took a weird hop into fair territory, but no, it looks like it may have been fouled off of the hitter himself. That was strange. Samurai Prayer says, is he the only Fighters fan in here? No, you're the Tiger fan. So 1 ball and 2 strikes, which we'll be doing in a couple of games of 2 and 3 nights from now. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2 on Mori. As the lefty again works himself to the set position, here comes the 2-2. Fastball swung on and missed. Mori's in the books. He's gone for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the slate to bring up the first baseman, Bob Seymour. I was saying earlier and speculating, you watch, there won't score any more runs for the next 5 innings. This game will end up, or next 6 innings will end up going to the 12th inning. Tie. Well, that would be frustrating. Here comes Seymour to the plate. The first pitch on the way, fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. But I could see it happening for sure. Just don't want to speak it into existence quite yet. So no balls and 1 strike as the lefty Shimamoto ready to deliver. There's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count's even at 1-1. Ryota Kida to follow here in the inning. And the lefty nodding in agreement with his signs with his catcher. It's got to be a tough job for Tamiya with the number of relievers he's had to catch up to. Fastball swung on, lifted into deep left field, racing over. Did they make the catch? And it is going to be Rodolfo Castro who's going to haul it in. Both he and the left fielder Nomura had converged. Nomura barely looked like he got hit a bit and his hat got knocked off. But he's going to be able to make the catch is Castro, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. We almost had ourselves a major collision there. Oh, boy. Hold your breath on that one. Castro able to make the grab. Both players losing their hats. I don't know if Nomura speaks Spanish, and I don't know if Castro speaks Japanese. They definitely almost had themselves a nasty collision. Very, 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 very fortunate. And that's going to bring up the right fielder in Ryoto Kita. The first pitch to Kita, breaking ball missing upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Kita tonight, 2 singles and a walk. He's been on base each time he's come to the plate. He's got his average up to 333. Pitch on the way, breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count 1 ball and a strike. Samurai Prayer says he's rooting for the Tigers in the Central and the Fighters in the Pacific. I'm not sure if you're the only Fighter fan in here tonight, but there's a few more fans that have jumped in here to this 7-7 ball game. There's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count now 2-1 to Kita. So Rodolfo Castro having himself a decent night tonight, defensively and offensively. There's a fastball swung on his lifted foul. Castro has a couple of hits. He's got an RBI. He scored a run. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kita. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Again, the left-hander works to the set. Now delivers breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into shallow left field. Moving back on it is the shortstop Mizuno, but calling everybody off is the left fielder Nomura. He's there to make the catch. And that is going to send the Buffaloes quietly here in their half of inning number 7. They go in order, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Our score as we now move to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It is a 7-7 ball game. We're going to give you our version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments after this timeout. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Slated to come to bat for the Fighters will be Franmil Reyes, Kotaro Kiyomiya, and Chusei Minami. We do have a pitching change, as it is going to be Naruki Teranishi, as he will take over here for Kosei Yoshida, as he will become the 4th pitcher used by the Buffaloes in this one. So he is completing his tune-up tosses, and we'll resume the action here in just a few. As Reyes, Kiyomiya, and Manami slated to come to bat. So 7-7 tie here as we move to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Fighters still have 3 rounds of at-bats left. The Buffaloes only a couple. This game is getting into the final stages, one would think. So up steps Franmil Reyes as the right-hander double clutches and delivers. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Reyes. So no balls and 1 strike. Pitch on the way again. There's a fastball that misses way upstairs. The count goes to 1-1 on Reyes. So a ball and a strike. Again, the right hitter holds at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Franmil Reyes. There's a fastball missing way upstairs. The count goes to 2-2. I wonder if he's doing that every other pitch to maybe change the eye level of the hitter. Now time has been called over at home plate as Reyes is going to step out. Do this all over again. So here we go. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Reyes as the right-hander Teranishi ready to deliver. He kicks and double clutches and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away into the catcher Mori, and the count 2-2 and it remains. So if you just joined us, well, we've had a wild one here tonight. 7-7 the scoreline here in the bottom of the 7th. Fighters got on the board early with 4. As there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Reyes is going to make his way to first. They're going to throw down. That's going to go strikeout 2-3. He's in the books for out number 1. That's going to bring up the first baseman in Kentaro Kiyomiya. 4 runs by the Fighters in the first inning. Buffaloes responded with a pair of their own, a 2-run shot by Bob Seymour in the second. Fighters added another one to their tally in the second and made it 5-2. Then they added another in the third and another in the fourth. They had a 7-2 lead. And then it was a 2-run homer off the bat of Mori and a 3-run homer off the bat of Mune that have brought the Buffaloes back into it. That's where we're locked up and tied at. As that breaking ball misses upstairs, the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kiyomiya. Right-hander ready to deliver. Here comes the double clutch on the pitch. Fastball swung on, and that's going to be fouled over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-1. Well, if you were thinking you were coming for a 3-hour tidy game, well, you took the wrong game. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to be lined into right field. It's going to get into the corner for a base hit. In after it is the right fielder Kita. Digging for second is Kiyomiya, and he's going to stop in there safely with a 1-out double. So that, by our books, is his 3rd hit of the night. He has a pair of doubles and a home run in this one. So he's going to give himself a fist pump. Going to get some of his equipment off, and now that's going to bring to the plate Chusei Manami. And boy, could they use Manami, the Fighters, that is. Manami officially 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and flown out, but he has a sacrifice fly and an RBI back in the 3rd inning. So Manami coming to the plate. If there's anybody who could break it up, he is one of these guys here to break up the deadlock. Kiyomiya, the runner at second. Now he's stepping into the plate. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Teranishi. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This is lifted down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. And this ball is going to slice into the wall where it is very, very narrow down the right field line. So no balls and 1 strike to Minami. You ran out of real estate in a hurry. The right fielder, Kita, got over. He leapt at the wall, but he wasn't able to come up with the catch. Well, here we go back to the action. No balls and 1 strike to Minami. As Teranishi works himself to the set. Runner at second, Kiyomiya. 1 gone here in the inning. Kicks and delivers. Fastball misses way off the outside corner, and the count goes even at 1. I was saying earlier, I know for our friend Samurai Prayers listening around, I was saying in the Hanshin Tigers a couple of years ago, I think when Shintaro Fujinami was still with the team, they had a bullpen that would come out. It would be so slow. Well, this one here, I have a feeling is going to rival that one here tonight. Just everything just seems to be moving at a snail pace. Here comes the pitch from Teranishi. Breaking ball swung on line into the left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Kiyomiya. Here comes the throw to the plate. The throw is not going to be in time. And that's going to be an RBI double off the bat of Minami. He's got himself an RBI, his second of the night. And that is going to put the Fighters in front 8-7. So don't look now. Fighters back in front again in this seesaw affair. It's going to bring Taiki Narama to the plate. So it was a breaking ball that caught a little too much of the dish. Kiyomiya slides in safely. That's going to bring Taiki Narama to the plate. So Narama stepping in 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. Takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Minami, the runner at second, 1 gone here in the 7th. Fighters looking for more. As Narama puts his hand up over his head, he's ready to get the offering from Teranishi. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Narama. As the right-hander ready to go again, Teranishi holds to the set. No particular rush. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-2. There's no particular rush because as the ball comes set, and he's just waiting forever. Angel says that he thinks they've lost. Well, I don't know. The way this game has gone, it could be a 4-run lead by the end of the next inning. Like the Fighter bullpen has been great. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it for Narama. He's gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the catcher in Yua Tamiya. Well, for Tamiya, he is officially 1 for 3 tonight, and he has doubled, scored a run. He has bounced into a fielder's choice, and he has struck out in his 3 trips to the plate. Here are the Fighters. He could use a double off his bat right now. But If you are a fan of the Buffaloes, you are looking for 3 strikes and you're out. And here comes the first pitch to Tamiya. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be hooked foul down the right field line. Count 0-1 to Tamiya. So no balls and 1 strike to the catcher of the Fighters. Establishing his lead over at second base is Manami. No balls and 1 strike to Tamiya. Here comes the pitch. The right-hander checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is hammered right to the glove of the first baseman, Bob Seymour, who was standing almost on the line. And that is going to do it. Tamiya is gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Fighters, well, they get a run to break the deadlock. 1 run in the inning on 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your scores, we move to the top of the 8th. It is an 8-7 Fighter lead. Stay with us, everybody. It looks like we're going to have another pitching change. We'll get that for you when we return after this. Score, 8-7 for the Fighters as we move to the top of the 8th inning.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
She's from heaven.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9-1-2 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes here in inning number 8. That means Kobayashi, Watanabe, and Mune. As the Buffaloes, who had tied it up, are now back in a one-run deficit. There is a pitching change now for the Fighters as they are going to their bullpen. And it is going to be number 26, Seiji Tanaka, who is coming on in relief. He will be the fifth pitcher used. So Seiji Tanaka on in relief for the Fighters now here in inning number 8. So Tanaka has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get back to work here as Kobayashi steps to the dish. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He's raised his season average up to 200. As the right-hander Tanaka kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Samurai Prayer says this game result is still unpredictable. Absolutely. I've been saying that this game might go 12. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. Count is 0-2. Now, mind you, with that being said, the outs now are against the Buffaloes. Fighters need to get 6 outs here to seal the deal. As the right-hander ready to go again, works himself to the belt. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away. That was actually too good for a 0-2 pitch. So no balls and 1 strike it is to, or sorry, no balls and 2 strikes it is to Kobayashi. And the right-hander working himself to the belt. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses way outside. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here we go again. Ready to deliver is the right-hander Tanaka. As he works himself set, now delivers. Fastball swung on. This is going to be lined into center field for a base hit. So Kobayashi's aboard with a leadoff single. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Haruto Watanabe. So here we go. As our friend Samurai Prayer said, the game is unpredictable at the moment here, and that's pretty much the case. Just when you think maybe you got it figured out, no, sir. The Buffaloes continue to fight back and flex their muscles. Angel says, you know your stuff. Yeah, it's just the way this game has gone here. It has been a seesaw affair. Bullpens, not sure. I think obviously the starters, neither one could get through the 5th inning. So this brings Watanabe to the plate, who is officially 0 for 3 tonight. He has drawn a walk. As they throw to first base and diving back in time to the bag is the base runner Kobayashi. Yumamune waits his turn on deck. He's already deposited 1 home run here tonight. Angel says, you guys from San Diego? Nope, not us. And squaring the bunt and then pulling back is the batter Watanabe. So that's kind of the right idea. Maybe play for the run here to at least tie it up. Get him into scoring position and then try to bang him home. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander works himself to the pitch. There's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Watanabe. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Establishing his lead over at first is Kobayashi. 1-1 here. As the right-hander works himself into the set position, now they throw over to first. Diving back in time is the runner Kobayashi. We're in the top of the 8th inning. 8-7 Fighters have the lead. They jumped out early. Buffaloes came back late to tie it, and now the Fighters have taken the lead. There's a fastball swung on its slicing into the stands, foul down the left field line, and the count now 1-2 to Watanabe. And so for those of you who are joining us, we appreciate you guys for hanging in. We said tomorrow night, it'll be Lions and Marines, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern. If you get a chance, come on by the channel, as we will be bringing that one to you. Tomorrow's slated starting pitchers: Kaimatira for the Lions. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away down the left field line. Count 1-2. And the starter for the Marines, Kaito Mori, making his 5th NPB appearance on the season in that one. As the right-hander ready to deliver again. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on it. Another one tap foul over on the first base side. Angel Hernandez says, if you could compare the Yokohama DNA Bay Stars to an MLB team, who would they be? Well, this year's team in particular, kind of on the downfall from the team that went to the Japan series a couple of years ago. It's a good question. I would say maybe a playoff team that's not a playoff team anymore. Here's the pitch. I have to think about that for a few. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Count is at, remain at 1-2. Possibly a comparable. Maybe not a great comparable, but a comparable nonetheless. Maybe the way they are is like the Texas Rangers in their path right now. The Rangers, of course, World Series winners a few years ago. There was a fastball swung on and missed. Watanabe's gone for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up Yuma Mune to the plate. You think the Rangers winning the World Series, what was it? Beating the Diamondbacks, was that 3 years ago or 2 years? 3 years ago, I think. And so they've had a bit of a downward trajectory since then. Might even compare maybe the Bay Stars might even be the Mariners, Seattle Mariners, as a comparable. Playoff team, but not really getting it done. Although bad comparison because Bay Stars won the Japan Series a couple of years ago, as I said, 3 years ago. Here comes the first pitch to Yuma Mune. Fastball swung on. It's lifted into shallow left field. Coming in underneath it is the left fielder Nomura. He's there to make the catch. And so Mune, easy out for number 2 here. That'll bring up the designated hitter in Ryoma Nishikawa. Angel asks, who's our favorite MLB team? Well, mine's Detroit. Always has been. But because I'm on the West Coast, I do follow the Mariners. It's the closest local team. Although I have to say, I haven't really paid attention to the Mariners as much this year. I've only seen a couple of their games in person live. So this is the first offering here to Nishikawa. It's swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. The count is 0-1. Marco says a Nationals fan there, unfortunately. Well, in my eyes, I thought they were ready to turn the corner here, but maybe they're still one more year away. That might be the saying in Washington, one more year away. Here's the 0-1 pitch. On the way, it is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. And this one is just going to hook foul, or did it? Nope. Looks like Nishikawa was going for the trip around the bases, but the manager, the big boss, is wanting to already up to do the replay. So we'll see if it is going to stand as a home run. Nishikawa making the trip around the bases. The umpires are going to go have a look at this one. So if this game didn't get weirder, it has just gotten weirder. Nishikawa with a 2-run shot. Buffaloes supposedly are going to take the lead here, but the big boss wants to see this one on replay. So replay review, we're going to get a look at it ourselves. We're going to see if it's going to stay fair or not. That ball was hooked down the line. That ball's foul. I don't even know what are the umpires looking at here. It's not even close. Unbelievable. If they haven't come back with it, if they call this thing a fair ball, they need to investigate everything. That ball was so foul. Now, unless it actually hit the foul pole, which I don't believe it did. I'm going to get a look at the replay again. It's definitely a foul ball. I'm going to look at it here. No, foul ball. Easy. And here come the umpires right now, and it is a foul ball. That's going to make the count 0-2 to Nishikawa. So Nishikawa rounded the bases for nothing. He's going to come back up. But boy, got to tell you, if you were a Buffalo fan, it was something there. He set that for a ride. So like a very fortunate, as that would have put them in the lead. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. He's 1 for 4 tonight, by the way. Batting from the left side. He had a hit in the first inning, and it's been quiet after that. So Tanaka ready to go here as he works himself to the belt. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses upstairs. The count goes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to the batter at the plate as Tanaka works himself into the set position. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball misses inside. Oh. Tanaka wanted that pitch, but home plate umpire said no way. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. If you just joined us, well, Ryouma Nishikawa almost had a 2-run homer here to take the lead for the Buffaloes. It is 8-7 Fighters, 2-2 pitch coming. On its way, fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 3-2. So that means the runner, Kirbyashi's is going to be on the move here, as he is the runner over at first base. That has turned into quite the dramatic game. As Tanaka leans in, getting the sign. Now it's an agreement with his catcher, Tamiya, and he works himself to the belt. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. And Nishikawa is aboard with a walk. That's going to bring up Ryo Oda to the plate. So it's going to bring the manager out of the dugout, the big boss. It looks like he has seen enough. And he's going to have it looks like a pitching change here. End of the night for Tanaka. Stick around, everybody. Tanaka can't get the job done. We're going to the bullpen yet again. We're going to have ourselves a timeout. Looks like they are going to be bringing in a right-hander. And who is that? Well, we're not sure, but we'll have to get it for you when we come back in just a moment. Couldn't pick up the number, but we'll be right back in just a few. Well, it is going to be Taisho Tamai who is coming on in relief. He is being carted in. We'll be back in just a couple moments to bring you all the action. Stick around, everybody. It is more baseball here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. This has been one seesaw affair here as we are in the top of the 8th inning. Buffaloes have 2 aboard. Kirbyashi's at second. Nishikawa at first. It is Oda coming to the plate. And there is 2 gone here as the big boss. Manager Shinjo has gone to the bullpen yet again, as this is going to be the 6th pitcher used by the Fighters tonight. Taisho Tamai is coming on in relief here. So he's just completing his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get back to the action. As Ryo Oda stepping to the plate. Oda does have a couple home runs this year. He has 1 for 4. He's got a single, a ground out, and 2 strikeouts to his name tonight. So the Buffalo or the Fighter outfield is in a bit shallow. They've got to try to be able to throw the runner out on a base hit. So Oda stepping in here as he's ready to face reliever Tamai, who is his first batter tonight. And here comes the first pitch. Kicks and delivers. Fastball misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Oda. So 1 ball and no strikes. Oda sizing up the right-hander as he waits here on the 1-0 offering. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on his chop softly down the third baseline. They're going to have to hurry to get him, and it's not going to be able to be done as it is going to be an infield single for Oda. It was like a swinging bunt. The third baseman, Gunji, charged it. He barehanded, but he's unable to make a play anywhere. Advancing to third is Kobayashi. Over to second is Nishikawa, and the bases are now full of Buffaloes. It's going to bring Kai Nakagawa to the plate. That's a tough play. He had to barehand it, but he had absolutely no play anywhere. Drives you crazy as a pitcher. Well, for Nakagawa, he is 1 for 4 tonight. He's got a single and 4 trips. He's also grounded out twice and flown out once. So bases full of Buffaloes. It's, in my opinion, it's now or never. They're either going to punch a bunch of runs across here, or Fighters are probably just going to end up having to walk away with a victory. So let's see what happens here. The right-hander, Tamai, ready to deliver. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses in the left-handed batter's box, and the count is 1-0 to Nakagawa. So 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the right-hander ready to go to work as Tamai works himself into the set position. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. Moving back onto the warning track, looking up, and it's off the wall. That's going to get a couple of runs in and maybe more. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And Nakagawa is going to clear the bases. Unbelievable as he is standing on third with a triple. Chusei Manami turned around, thought it was going to be gone, ended up off the wall, ended up getting away from him. And now the Buffaloes have taken a 10-8 lead on the triple by Nakagawa, driving in 3 runs. Unbelievable. Yeah, you could just see it coming. Our friend Creed says, sheesh. This game has got to be one of the craziest games we've done in a while here on the NPB, or covered on the NPB. And that's going to bring Tomoya Mori to the plate. And they're still not out of the woods, because Tamori could do some damage as well. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses, and the count is 1-0 to Mori. Unreal. So 1 ball and no strikes as Tamai delivers again. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Coming in as Castro, he's there to make the catch, but the damage has been done as the Buffaloes have now taken the lead 10-8. That is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in inning number 8. 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is a 10-8 Buffalo lead. Stick around, everybody. Unreal. This game here is going to be back in just a few right after this.
This is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and apparently we know how to call them here tonight. So far as it is the Buffaloes with a 10-8 lead as we are moving to the bottom of the eighth inning. It is the top of the order. It's slated to come to bat. That'll be Mizuno, Castro, and Nomura. And our friend Samurai Prayer was saying, is our voice going to be able to hold up? Yeah, I'd say 50-50. And so that is going to bring the top of the order up to bat here. We'll see if the Buffaloes have gone to their bullpen, as we have to wait for a change here. Unreal. Unbelievable. The big boss. You know where it is right now, where the fighters are at. Their space, they're not in a good place. Everything is going sideways for the fighters. Nobody would, I don't think anybody would have predicted the way that they have been playing. Well, they do have a reliever. It is going to be Ren Mukinoki who is coming in. Going to be the fifth pitcher used tonight by the Buffaloes. So Mukinoki on in relief. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Tatsuki Mizuno. Mizuno tonight in the leadoff spot. He is officially 0 for 4 entering this at bat, as the pitch is taken on one hop by Bob Seymour, and he steps on the base. It's going to be a ground out to 3 for out number 1, and that'll bring up the center fielder in Rodolfo Castro. So Creed asks the question, says, I'm not really sure what he asks. Something like, no winner until it ends. The first pitch fastball delivered to Castro misses upstairs for a ball. So one gone here in the eighth inning, as Mizuno is in the books. 1 ball and no strikes to Castro, who's 2 for 4 tonight. He's got a couple of singles, a run, and an RBI. Mukinoki delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Mukinoki ready to deliver again. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Castro. So if you just joined us, it was a 3-run uprising in the top of the eighth inning for the Buffaloes that have given them the 10-8 lead. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over into the seats on the first base side, and the count remains at 1-2. Samurai Prayer says Koshin game finished 7-5 Tigers over Giants. Angel says, what are you thinking about Yokohama or Yakult tonight? I'm staying away from that one. The way the Swallows have played, not touching them with a 10-foot pole. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into shallow right field, giving chase, and it's going to drop in the Bermuda Triangle. Giving chase was Seymour, the second baseman, Oda, and the right fielder, Akita, and Castro is going to be aboard with a base hit here. That's going to bring Yuki Nomura to the plate. Friend R. Ramon says he looked at the box score earlier. Thought this game would be over. It's just getting started. Lots of life left in this one. I hate to say it. So this brings Yuki Nomura to the plate. Nomura tonight is 2 for 4. A couple singles and a run scored. Our friend Creed says he was referencing the KBO being twists and turns. Yeah. Fastball misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. That's the problem with the KBO. The KBO it's just the lack of pitching. It's like watching the Chinese professional baseball league, just not a lot of pitching. And so games can go sideways instantly as soon as you get into the bullpens. 1-0 on the way. Fastball swung on line over to the shortstop, Kirby. He catches it on the backhand, and that is going to retire. And the batter, Nomura, hit the ball right on the screws. And so he is gone for the second out of the inning. We'll get a replay on that one. He had to drop to his knees and backhand it, but he was able to make the play. So 2 gone here. That brings the third baseman, Yuya Gunji, to the plate. Gunji officially 1 for 3 tonight, a single in 3 trips. He's also walked. Biggest thing is keep him off the bases so you can face Franmil Reyes with nobody on in the next inning. Definitely don't want to face Reyes with ducks on the pond. So here comes the pitch from Mukanoki. Fastball swung on. Well, that's not going to happen because it's grounded into the left field corner. Rounding second, heading to third is Castro, and they're going to throw on the brakes. And now you got it as you're going to have Franmil Reyes coming to bat. Gunji over at second with a double. Castro stopping at third. 2 gone here, and now you got to face the Franimal. And if you don't want to face him, it's Kitaro Kiyomiya waiting on deck. Unbelievable. The way this game is playing out, as I said before, don't bat an eye if it goes 12. But I really don't want to speak it into existence. I've been saying that too. Be happy with a 9-inning ball game that ends in favor of one team or the other. Looks like we have a pinch runner over at second base. That looked like it's a Kota Yazawa. I have to do a double check. It is Kota Yazawa as he has come in to run for Gunji. A little surprised he doesn't really count per se. I guess he does. Sorry, he does count. He's the tying run as Franmil Reyes steps to the plate. Reyes tonight officially 3 for 4. He's got 2 singles, a double. He's driven in 3. As Mukanoki kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Reyes. So no balls and 1 strike. Yeah, 2 outs here in the inning. 2 outs here in the inning. Mizuno had grounded out, and Nomura had lined out. You got runners at second and third. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to the Franimal. Fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. Giving chase is the second baseman. Oda is going to make it over the shoulder catch. And that is going to do it as Reyes is going to be gone for out number 3. Well, the Fighters threaten, but they don't score. No runs in the inning. There was 2 hits, no errors. And there was 2 runners left aboard. We move to the top of the 9th inning. It is a 10-8 ball game. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. The Buffaloes are coming to bat. We're going to find out if they got any more offense in them. 10-8 is your score. We'll be back in just a few. Your score as we move to the 9th inning, it is 10-8 for the Buffaloes. The voice is just hanging in here, and we'll be back in just a bit after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to be the bottom three in the batting order for the Buffaloes: Bob Seymour, Ryoto Kita, and Kitaro Kobayashi to come to bat here in the top half of inning number 9. As it'll be Seymour coming to the stick, but we're going to wait to see if we have yet another reliever for the Fighters. I do believe we may have. And it is certainly that for sure. It is going to be number 13. This is Tsubasa Namatame, as he will come on in relief. And by my count, that is pitcher number 7 tonight. So Tsubasa Namatame on in relief. And he will be slated to face the bottom third of the batting order. It looks like Dakota Yazawa is in the game in left field, but can't tell who is over at third base. I'll have to take a look at that one as it becomes available. Well, stepping in as Bob Seymour, he is officially 1 for 4 tonight. He has had some good swings. He has homered and knocked in a pair, and then he has flown to center 3 times, and he swings through a first pitch fastball, counts 0-1. I was thinking about the center fielder Rodolfo Castro. Been a busy man tonight, and by my counts, he has had 5 putouts. So for a center fielder for a night, that's not a bad day's work. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 0-2. I guess in my eyes, I'd rather see the fly balls to the center field or balls driven to the outfield than to see strikeouts. And certainly Seymour had just missed, he got underneath a couple of them, but he's been pretty good. Here's the 0-2, fastball down. Nice stop there by the catcher behind home plate. He would tee me up. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Speculating if we're going to see Andres Machado coming in for the Buffaloes. I would think that would be the case, but we'll have to wait and see. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. It goes all the way to the backstop. Seymour is going to take off to first. The throw, is it going to be in time? Barely got him. Oh, Bob Seymour, you got to wake up. If he would have got going out of the gate, the ball was swung on and missed. It's going to be 2-3 on the putout. He's gone for the first out of the inning. He was not coming hard out of the box. That thing drives me crazy. Guy swing and miss. He had no idea where it was. Good hustle there by Tamiya. They end up getting him by a half a step, but 2 strikes down in the dirt. You got to know there's a chance that ball's going to be dropped or it's going to get by. And if he was moving a little bit quicker, he would have been safe at first base. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to second, fielded neatly by the second baseman, Arama, and he throws out Kita, ground out 4-3. 2 gone here. It's going to leave it all up to the shortstop and Kitaro Kobayashi. Well, for Kobayashi, he's had a nice night tonight. He is 2 for 3. He has flown to center and walked. He's also scored a pair of runs tonight for the Buffaloes. And the first pitch on the way from Namatame is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander kicks and delivers again. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count is 0-2. We're about to get into the deepest of the deep waters, the bottom of the 9th inning. If they can retire Kobayashi here. Here comes the 0-2. On the way, split finger swung on and missed, and that's going to do it. 3 up, 3 down inning here for the Fighters. As we move ourselves to the bottom of the 9th inning, Fighters have 3 outs to try to tie this one up or take the lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be number 42, Andres Machado, on in relief, as he is going to be taking over here as the sixth pitcher used tonight. And that will be Kiyomiya, Minami, and Narama to come to bat to face him here in inning number 9, as he's completed his tune-up tosses and will be ready to get back to the live action. Looks like that there has been a change. Looks like Seymour's day is done. Looks like Oda has moved over to first, but I didn't catch who has come on to play at second. To see if we get the update. But I'm not sure we will or not. Let's take a quick peek. Sometimes the game updates are a little bit on the slow side. Here's the pitch. First pitch is a cutter that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Kotaro Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya tonight officially 3 for 4. He's got a homer, a couple of doubles. He's scored a couple of runs. He's driven in a pair as he bats here. So no balls and 1 strike. And there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now quickly 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So slow sometimes to update the lineups and the lineup shifts. So no balls and 2 strikes to Machado as he works himself to the belt, but now time has been called as Kiyomiya feels that he is taking too much time. And here comes the 0-2 offering. It is a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the right side. And they're going to throw him out on a ground out 4-3. So Kiyomiya is gone for the first out of the inning, and now they got 2 outs left to play with. That's Noguchi, who has come into the game at second base. I was just chuckling, and to think, you bring in a guy in, and the next thing you know, that's where the ball goes to, right to the new guy. So ground out 4-3. That's going to bring Chusei Minami to the plate. Minami officially 1 for 3 tonight. He has a double, a couple RBIs. He has struck out and flown out. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Samurai Prayer says all he wants to see is a miracle in the ninth. The miracle could be that the Buffaloes close it out 1-2-3, depending on what kind of miracle you're looking for. So 1 ball and no strikes as Machado works himself to the belt. Here comes the pitch to Minami. Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to second. Noguchi fields it. He throws to first. Ground out 4-3. Now they're down to their final out is the Fighters. as they are looking to try to seal this one away. We are going to take a break after this half inning in the event that this game does come to a conclusion. We'll give it a bit of a roundup, and then we will look at the out-of-town scoreboard and call it a night, as it is getting later into the evening. So this brings, slated to bring Taiki Narama to the plate. It looks like we may have ourselves a pinch hitter here. It is going to be Ruan Otsuka, who was on to pinch hit, and the first pitch fastball is taken for a called strike. So Otsuka on here to face the very tough Machado. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. On its way, fastball catches the outside corner. Now the fighters are down to their final strike. So no balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Creed says, what a comeback. Yeah, it is. Unreal. So here's the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside. Count goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready to deliver again. Kicks and fires. Fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Otsuka. Right-hander Machado ready to deliver again. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. It's going to be trouble. Looking up, and this one is gone. A home run, a solo shot. That's going to cut the lead to 10-9. So the fighters are not dead yet, as Machado has served up a blast. And so Otsuka, I think that's his first home run of his career. So a 10-9 ball game. The game is still not over yet. Unbelievable. That pitch was a 4-seam fastball that was center cut. And he just took that for a ride and did not make a mistake. Ball was about 10 rows deep in right field. This brings to the plate Ua Tamiya. The first pitch to Tamiya is a fastball swung on and fouled away. So they were down to their final strike. Creed says, lucky nobody was on base. Yeah, absolutely. And you certainly don't want to let Tamiya get on because, well, I don't know if Mizuno's got a whole lot of pop, but you certainly want to keep these guys off the base paths. You start getting into the Castro section of the lineup. It's to be interesting. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Counts 0-2. So once again, this is like in tennis, double match point. As we have 2 strikes on the hitter here. As Machado works to the set, here comes the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Looked like it might have been a splitter. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to Tamiya. Our friend Samurai Prayers. I'm not even going to say it. You're speaking it into existence. I don't want to jump on that train. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. On its way. Breaking ball misses outside. Count goes to 1-2 on Tamiya. This has been one crazy game. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and deals. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. Count remains at 1-2 to Tamiya. They're one swing of the bat away from tying the game and one swing of the bat away from ending the game. So a ball and 2 strikes. And again, the right-hander Machado works himself into the set position. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it. This wild one is in the books as Tamiya's gone for out number 3. Well, they claw with one back with a solo shot by the pinch hitter Ruin Otsuka. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your final score. I'm sure like everybody had on their bingo card, the Buffaloes 10 and the Fighters 9. Stick around, everybody. We'll come back and wrap it up for you in just a few. Appreciate you guys for holding around with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm not going to give you the full particulars in this one here tonight. It was a crazy ball game. 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Buffaloes. 9-16-0 for the Fighters. Your final score, 10-9 for the Buffs. It was a 7-2 lead at one point for the Fighters, and then they were outscored 8-2 the rest of the way. The Buffaloes pace this one here. Friend Samurai Purse, has got to be one of the crazier games on your channel history. Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to go down as one of the wild ones. That is for certain. We're glad we could share it with you here tonight. Well, we'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we're going to call it a night as other games from around the earlier starts are all over and finals. Goshen Stadium tonight in the Central League. Tigers beat the Giants 7-5. Dragons took care of the Carp at the Mazda Stadium 4-0. Other games in the Pacific League, Lions beat the Marines 5-4. Hawks beat the Eagles 5-0. So just for your notes, we will be back on the airwaves tomorrow night, same time, same channel. It'll be 10 o'clock Pacific. The game we will call will be the Lions and the Marines. Hopefully you guys can join us for that. Then after tomorrow, it'll be the Monday and Tuesday games in Japan. It'll be the Tigers and the Dragons. Hopefully you guys will be there. And then on the Wednesday Japan game, which is May the 6th, it'll be the Fighters and the Eagles. That'll be on Wednesday in North America. All right, everybody. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight. Thank you guys for listening. Unreal. We'll catch you again tomorrow night. It is final score Buffaloes with a 10-9 win over the Fighters. Fighters are definitely limping these days. We'll be back to call it again tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.